will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the weekly Rogues Gallery. Slow down, mouth. There we go. Let's actually speak in a speed that people can hear me. I'm not Ben Shapiro. I'm Professor Savage Dad here hosting the show tonight. Iron Oxide has lost his power, which happens when you live in the Southwest and the summer happens. It's probably 115 degrees, and one of those transformer boxes where all the power goes through it, it probably just melted. It's a common thing. I know it sounds extreme to those of you in the Midwest, but here, things melting outside, that's just life. It happens to people.
I thought you just usurped him like Kamala did Biden.
Yes.
We took Iron out to the pasture. He's not coming back.
I mean, you say transformer box. I thought you were talking about that one Turkish boxer.
Oh, no. Yeah. Whoa. We're on YouTube, fellas. Come on, let's take it easy.
What?
Anything?
But so that's what's going on tonight. We're here on my channel because I don't share passwords with people and he doesn't share them with me. So this is where we are tonight, hanging out with our special guest, Jason Sandberg. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. It's great to kick out the weekend with you all. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you, sir. Big fan of the book.
Nice.
Thank
you.
Oh,
Thank
you know
you so
about
much.
it. Oh, yeah.
All right. This is fantastic. This is great because you know what they're all in for. So fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I absolutely know. All right. So let's go around the horn, get intros in here with everybody else as well. Let's start off with Nemesis. What are you up to, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Nemesystemic here. Creative disaster, failure savant. Managed to actually not be so much of a failure and get my first song produced and out there at the end of last month. It's up on YouTube on my channel right now. Go ahead and go get a listen to it. It's called Origination, future bass track. First one I've ever done.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm really happy. You have no idea the amount of like relief I've had just actually managing to accomplish it and get it out on time.
Oh, dude, accomplishment is like that's the thing. When you doesn't matter what it is you're doing, it's like anything that you've built something up to, you've put like your soul into. It could be an album. For me, it's been resumes lately. Whenever I get one done, I'm like, oh, that felt so good. I not to that great of an extent in a creative venture, though they are very creative these days. But yeah, I understand where you're at, man. It's just nice to get it out and put it out there and say, this is out. People can experience it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm so proud of it. I'm proud. It's the first time I've actually been proud of myself in, frick, I don't know how long. So I'm still kind of riding them endorphins from Wednesday.
How long was the song kicking around in your head before you got it all tightened up?
Honestly, it was just I started along as a tutorial follow along because I didn't really know how future bass was done. Everything prior to this, it's always been techno, progressive house, trance. So going into future bass, finding the sound design and all that with that unique style was a completely new adventure for me, and it started as me just following along kind of the same structure as the tutorial I was going with, and then it kind of evolved into a reflection of the entire journey I went through the past month while I was creating it. So it was a fun time. It was wild to see at the end of it all and just reflecting on it.
Nice.
Well, that is really cool. Alrighty, Vagabond, what are you up to, man? How's your week been?
Oh, good. Put in my 2-week notice, so excited about that.
Woo,
I don't have
nice.
anything else lined up. I'm just kind of winging it, but whatever.
What was the last straw? Why did you put in your notice? Or can you tell us or not tell us?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys. I just hated the job. The
reason.
hours, yeah, the
Very good.
hours sucked. I work from 12 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and so
As the king of working a shitty ass job that made him miserable for 4 years, I feel you on that. Nothing more satisfying than putting in that notice, man.
Yeah.
What also sucks is like if you live in like the South or any of the southern states, okay, like, and if you're not in a big city, like everything opens around like 10 a.m. and then everything starts closing around 7 or 8 o'clock. So by the time I get off work, I'm like, okay, if I have like a small window and I don't want to shop at Walmart every single time, especially if they're not being 24/7. So
but they were going back to 24/7.
But I guess the other thing is like it's not really my profession, the job I was doing. I'm just finding resource. It was cool after the pandemic and work at home or whatever. But my main profession is I'm a 3D artist, and I used to work at a game studio, and I'm trying to get back into doing that and work as a solo dev pretty much.
Cool.
That'd be cool. That's a lot more fulfilling, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. Alrighty, RedStrider, what do you got going on, man? How's your week been going?
It's been going pretty good, actually. I am going to be moving here in the next month, which is a big deal for me because this place that I'm in now is absolute shit in the middle of Mexican town. And I swear that these people have never acted. They've acted like they've never seen a white guy before. So I drive out of the complex just to go to work. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, guys, come on, give me a break. But yeah, going to be moving out of the area into a better one, not better because of race, but just it's a better area. It absolutely just so I'm going to be planning out the move there and boxing everything up and trying to watch the Olympics in between all the bouts of gay. So that's been fun. Who knew that females had XY chromosomes? The internet just told me this now.
You really
despite the fact that
shit? God,
that's the thing. The more I look into the history of the Olympics, especially the modern Olympics, it is rife with corruption. It is rife with sweetheart deals. It is rife with all sorts of controversy left, right, and center. But also having just been to France last year myself, it's and the circumstances where it was a great vacation, but the circumstances around it sucked ass through a straw. So it's now kind of nice to relive France through some fresh eyes and remember the good times I had there. You know what I mean? So I've been enjoying it, and plus I love the Olympics. I live for them every season. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately. Tomorrow I'm going to have my colon widened by a country mile thanks to Strahd. Thanks to this guy's D&D streams. That's going to be fun.
24 hours.
You're gonna do a 24-hour D&D stream tomorrow?
Oh God, I hope not. I'm old. I gotta sleep. But
Well,
yeah,
I will say this: the only good thing about France is the way the women protest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're probably one of the best days of my life. This is a component of it. I was with a couple friends of mine, and we started off the day just going to a really cool local French market. We got all sorts of really yummy food, beer, wine, and other food, and we just hung out by a river for hours, and a couple of Spanish ladies marched down, and they're just all of a sudden in the buff, and we're like, oh hi, okay, well. But it's just totally normal, and it was up. What's going? I was in one drink. So it made that day really nice. But also that later that night, as if that wasn't even more awesome. My buddy that I went with, he grew up in France, and specifically his hometown. And last year the Rugby World Cup was being hosted in Paris. So which made sightseeing kind of a bore because everything was boarded up and there was scaffolding everywhere. But we got to watch the opening ceremonies of the Rugby World Cup in his hometown that was being hosted in Paris. And there's this cafe. We sat outside this big old square, and there's projectors everywhere. And he got to stand up with all of his fellow countrymen and sing the Marseillaise, which they never sing, by the way, at the Rugby World Cup. But it was a perfect day, and the topless ladies helped.
Toplessness always helps. I don't think there's ever been a time. Well, there can be times it goes wrong, but for the most part,
depends on who it is.
I'm like Billy Gunn, man. I'm an ass man.
Exactly. That's where I was going with it. Like, sometimes it can go wildly, disturbingly wrong. I mean, if Dylan Mulvaney shows up to your nude protest, everyone's leaving.
Sorry.
I was in
threw up in my mouth.
I was in France 25 years ago, walking around Paris, spent like a week in Paris, and obviously beautiful city. But I was looking around at the people, and I said to myself, if this all burned down, they couldn't rebuild it. The people that are there, they don't have the skill set, they don't have the industry, don't have the energy, don't have the intellect. They're like inhabiting amazing pieces of architecture that were built by long gone generations. It's very strange. Yeah. So I can only imagine it's gotten worse, but that was my take. But I love the Musée d'Orsay, fantastic museum. Love the river. It's great.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, Nate, what have you got going on, man?
Not much, dude. Just been working, saving money, getting stuff paid off. Like this wonderful man over here was talking about working on some D&D stuff. I'm getting ready to take this man and a couple other friends through a ringer tomorrow night with Curse of Strahd episode 3.
Crazy.
Slowly getting back to uploading videos on the movie channel too. I just uploaded my first video to there in a couple months, talking about the whole Robert Downey Jr. and Dr. Doom situation. Just quick 5-minute video giving my quick thoughts on it. I think I made my point pretty apparent. But I still need to get my Deadpool and Wolverine review up. I kind of wanted to wait until the second week, just to give everybody enough time to see it before I finally go full in depth on it. Probably going to do a spoiler talk with MSK on Sunday about Trap. I went and saw that today. It wasn't terrible. Wasn't great either. I mean, it's a Shyamalan film, so it's a mixed bag with that guy. That man is literally the walking human epitome of just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks.
I thought Old was pretty good. Old was pretty good.
I enjoyed Old for what it was. I know a lot of people that really hated Old, which is really surprising.
I think if 20 years ago he had just said, listen, people, I'm just going to basically make really good episodes of The Twilight Zone, Your mileage will vary. Don't keep thinking that I'm going to replicate the Sixth Sense. People would have just maybe calmed down a little bit, but just take it for what it is, right?
Yeah, I saw. No, go ahead.
The funny thing is, there's basically only one M. Night Shyamalan movie that I found tolerable, and that was actually Signs. I didn't like The Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense,
and
Sixth Sense
The Happening.
Weird.
Marky Mark just ruined The Happening.
Dude, he's so miscast in that movie.
But you know who's not miscast? Zoe Deschanel.
Movie?
She was the perfect foil for him. It's hilarious. They're both like doe-eyed, looking at the camera like, huh?
That entire movie, I was just sympathizing with the guy that just laid down in front of the riding lawnmower.
I will say this about the Happening. The Acolyte makes it seem like a masterpiece.
It does.
Oh my god,
it does.
The Happening was not nearly as violent as it should have been for an R rating. You got a guy laying down in front of a lawnmower. You got a guy whose arm was ripped off by a lion, and there's like barely any blood in it. Like, what the hell is this?
Don't get me wrong. The Happening is a really bad movie from a writing standpoint and acting standpoint. It is just a really bad film. But the thing is, it's almost self-aware to a point where it knows it's bad. Like, you could almost sit there and watch the movie and not take it seriously and just watch it like it's a comedy. That's how bad it is.
When M. Night was writing Signs, he needed a buddy, someone to stand up to him and say, "Listen, guy, these aliens, their weakness is water, right? Yeah, human beings are like 2/4 water. You know that, right?
Right. But
pretty much.
But other than that, But other than that, that's all that's pretty much going on with me, dude.
I like
saw the movie Traps. Are Traps gay?
Wait.
Yes, I know what you're referring to. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Hey, Nate, balls or no balls?
So I did really like Signs up until the end with the shit with the water.
Yeah,
I get what you're exactly saying. I'm just like, the jump scares were good. You didn't see the monster. Like, you didn't see it. They're one of the key things of horror. The whole movie was basically you don't see the monster until the very end. Yeah. Then the stupid shit with water, and I was like, oh.
Did you guys see?
That's kind of why I actually enjoyed Cloverfield Lane. Like the Cloverfield series isn't like that great, but Cloverfield Lane I actually did enjoy because you didn't know if it was actually going to be real or if this guy was just nut job that locked her up in the freaking bunker with him.
Yeah. Yep. Did you guys see his movie that came out in
movie?
Did you guys see his movie that came out in 2023? Well, it was Don't Knock at the Cabin.
That was good. Pretty good. Yeah,
it was good. I liked it. Yeah.
I think that
one yet.
I think Don't Knock at the Cabin is slightly better than Trap. Trap had some really cool ideas, but the problem with Trap is they pretty much spoiled what the twist is in the trailer. He's the killer. That's what it is. He's the killer.
That's a twist?
Yeah.
That's his twist?
That's the twist. That's
come on.
Dude, I was sitting in the theater watching the movie, just sitting there kind of waiting. I'm like, okay, this is M. Night Shyamalan. So there's probably another twist in this movie that, hasn't been revealed yet. And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, there's not. This is just the thing. He's just the killer and he's trying to get away. There's no, he's working with the cops or, any alluding to the fact that he's probably working with the cops or there's something else going on. Nope. He's just the killer and he's trying to get away from the cops.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. I was hoping that there'd be something like a double, triple, quadruple cross or something. And then, how does the killer escape this?
Yeah.
And,
I will say this. The Trap does a really good job of building tension in certain areas. It kind of falls off towards the end because by the third act, it turns into a whole nother movie where a side character all of a sudden becomes the main character. And it's like, okay, what is going on here? What are we doing? Yeah. It, once again, can't talk about it without spoilers, but didn't love it. Yeah. Didn't hate it. It was Shyamalan doing Shyamalan-ish things like he always does.
Speaking of strange twists that nobody saw coming, okay, what did you guys think of this?
Think of what? Yeah. Well, I mentioned before, I made a 5-minute video talking about this. So.
I think my opinion is that it is a multiverse cop out that Marvel is trying to pull off in order to restore brand favorability from a dying franchise that Disney has done nothing but destroy. So they're just milking Robert Downey Jr. stardom in order to repopularize it.
Jupiter hasn't introduced himself.
I would say the same. I felt like I thought I felt that way at the beginning, but I don't know if it does that. I know people show up for Robert Downey Jr. I know that like he probably he's going to play the role well. Like he's at least an actor that he's not going to show up and basically just putz around until the end. Like I fully expect Harrison Ford to basically degaff his entire role as Red Hulk, because he already doesn't. Like in interviews, you can tell he's like, I hate these fucking questions. That's stupid shit. I'm just back the dump truck full of money up to my car, please.
I think his life casting, they could have recast him as T'Challa or something.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as another dude.
Well, it's like I said earlier. To me, this feels a lot less like, oh, we're getting the guy that's gonna do the job the right way. It feels like. Why did I just stumble over my words? Anyway, to me, this kind of feels like a cop out.
This feels like the thing you do when you're trying to get butts in seats, not trying to do right by the character.
This feels like a move by Marvel and Disney to try and bring people back to the theaters that have already abandoned the MCU altogether. Because let's face it, I'm not saying Robert Downey Jr. isn't going to kill the role. I think he's got the potential to play the ultimate egotistical, narcissistic, just backstabbing, just badass.
He did that in Oppenheimer. And he won an Oscar for it.
Yeah. Nobody's denying that he can't pull off the role, but the thing is, you're trying to sit here and pull the wool over my eyes talking about, oh well, this is a good move. People want to see that. No, you're doing this out of desperation because people are turning away. And dude, they could have literally casted anybody else to do this. Instead, they paid Robert Downey Jr. $80 million to come back and play a character because they're desperate.
Not only that, they had to pay the Russo brothers nearly as much to come back as well, because that was how they got Robert Downey Jr. to come back. He's like, you have to bring the Russos back.
You could have casted Cillian Murphy, Michael Fassbender, Matt Nicholson, dude, Viggo Mortensen. There are so many guys out. There are so many guys out there that could kill it as this character, but you did this because people like Robert Downey Jr. and his face will sell.
The thing is, the Russos coming back, it doesn't really faze me at all because Marcus and McFeely are not back either. They're the ones who wrote Civil War, Winter Soldier, and Avengers: Infinity War, and Endgame. So, I don't care if the Russos or brothers are back. They're directors, and as we know, Disney casts directors. They don't necessarily cast creatives anymore. So, not having their same writing team to come back with them just seemed like a waste.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Doom is not a fantastic villain because he has a combination of super science and sorcery. That's not why he's a great villain. He's not a great villain because he has the financial, diplomatic, and military resources of a nation state. That's not why he's a fantastic villain. Dr. Doom is a fantastic villain because he's motivated by two things: getting his mother out of hell, and the constant aim to one-up Reed Richards. Mm-hmm. And so with whoever they cast, whatever they do with Doom, if they fail to capture those last two aspects of his personality and cast it correctly and write it correctly, they've wasted one of the greatest villains of comics history. Yeah. So the fact that they have him, Robert Downey Jr., that doesn't necessarily mean it. To me, it reeks of kind of desperation. But if they don't build the proper adversarial relationship with his old college roommate Reed Richards, it's all going to be for naught. Yep. And furthermore, notoriously during the Iron Man trilogy, he was always taking off his helmet because it was Robert Downey Jr. You can't show Dr. Doom's freaking face because we always need to know: is he horrifically scarred, or does he just have this like one little scar and he's so vain that he doesn't want anyone to see it? That's part of the mystique. So it remains to be seen exactly what they do with this character, but I think they're off on the wrong direction. I think it's desperate, and I think it was a bad move. And also in terms of his foil, Reed Richards, I'm sorry, dough-faced Pedro Pascal does not have the demeanor.
No.
Does not have the demeanor.
Correct.
Does not have the presence of Reed Richards. My Reed Richards is 1970s quasi lunatic John Buscema Reed Richards. Reed Richards has been up for 4 nights without sleep, and he's in the process of trying to crack some code or build something. And he loves his wife, but she's a freaking pest. That's Reed Richards. I don't know what they're going to do with Pedro Pascal, but I don't think this bodes well.
Yeah, Reed Richards is that kind of driven scientist that's always wanted to do good, but he's goes too far sometimes. So that's why the rest of the family anchors him. That's the whole point of his character. And
really,
being
the only
surrounded by
time
family, because they're the ones that keep him at bay. Because we see what happens when he's left to his own devices. We have the Council of Richards.
Yeah. Yep.
See,
well, he could play that role, but the last time we saw him play that kind of role was Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones season 3, and that was a long time ago. Even then, he's not the same guy. But
a lot of people brought this actor up as Doom, and he could have been good, but I think he would have been 100 times better as Reed Richards. Cillian Murphy should have been Reed Richards.
You mean
perfect
Killian?
Actor for it.
Yeah.
He can play that manic, fucking perfect guy to be exactly like what you were saying, Jason. He's got this very obsessive manic nature to him. He's just ignoring his smoking hot wife. He's like, please leave.
Imagine being so far up your own ass that you literally create a council of people made up out of yourself just to suck them off. That's
Cillian Murphy can
I mean,
that
honestly,
I think.
I think that's what made
Murphy
Rick and Morty's
Jr.
like Council of Rick so appropriate. It's like that is the exact thing of the Council of Richards.
Look, if they had thought ahead more than 2 seconds, they could have been like, wait a minute, reuniting Cillian Murphy and then reuniting Robert Downey Jr. after their legendary Oscar win.
That would be awesome.
That could get some of the normies because they were great. They barely met, but they were great opposites of each other. And that
would have been butts and seats.
Yeah, they would have been. Not the comic book fans. Yeah, the comic book fans would have loved it, and the normies would have loved it. I would have loved it because I'm a Nolan fan. And honestly, the more I watch Oppenheimer, the more I love it. But that would have been incredible to see.
Could you imagine a Avengers film directed by Christopher Nolan? Holy shit.
Yeah, I do agree with Jason. I think for Dr. Doom, they're going to show it's same thing with like modern Hollywood. A lot of actors, you have to see their face. So we see that with the Halo show.
Oh God!
You can name whatever medium it is or IP it is. You always have to see the actor's face. So because it's more about the actor than the actual character, and I think that's like an art that's kind of missing. Is where a lot of the actors are playing a role instead of trying to be themselves.
Yep.
If it was me, I'd be like, I'm never taking the helmet off. I don't care.
No.
Mandalorian.
The second it comes off, man.
Yeah.
John. Spartan 117 John. No, I'd be like, nope, helmet's on the entire time. You know who would actually do that? Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
He
Cavill for everything.
Although he could never play the Master Chief. His arms are too short.
Yeah.
But speaking of Master Chief, sorry, Professor, I didn't mean to ruin everything.
All right.
Mr. John, would you like to introduce yourself? Mr. Jupiter, would you like to introduce yourself? I don't think we got there.
It's okay. It's my roll with it.
We gave like a quick hello in the beginning, then we ran off to the rest of the panel.
Okay, so am I insane?
It's all good. I'll be brief
for a minute.
I'm Jason Sandberg. I'm the writer, artist, illustrator of Jupiter, which we will look at later. It's fantastic to be here. A lot of we've got like a lot of mutuals, and some of the regulars on the show I stream with on The Common Nerd. Fantastic to be here. Don't want to break the flow of the show. We'll look at my book later, but I love comic books, and it's great to be here.
Yeah, I apologize. I should have jumped down to a more thorough intro for our guest. That's my fault. Not being more prepared tonight.
Everything's going wrong. The incident that happened with Ironside, we can't really talk about. Everything's off track, but we're making it work.
I don't know anything about you because this man didn't give you ample enough time to explain yourself. That's all right.
He is the man that provides us with the license to meme, ladies and gentlemen.
That is correct. Yeah. If you have a license to meme, it was my brainchild. I partnered with Green Rocks. We can look at that later, but yeah, absolutely. And things are getting crazier out there. You don't want to swim naked. You need a license to meme.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely want to be licensed when memeing. You never know when you'll get pulled over by the meme police.
Yep, meme checkpoints.
You don't know when Melissa McCarthy DEI is gonna like stomp your ass out for it.
You got a license for that meme, mister?
Papers, please.
Definitely need one in the UK.
I like that there's been a lot of people really coming out and trying to kind of justify this with a million different alternative universe reasons why this is fine. And I don't think anybody's really arguing that point. Like, we know that it exists in the comic. They've done it. It's happened 3 different ways from Sunday. The point is that like bringing back Robert Downey Jr. was admitting that they fucked up by killing him in the first place.
Yeah.
They never
should see Joe Russo knowing that his face was he could not have given less of a shit to Anthony. One of the Russos were like, "Oh God, we're doing this."
I honestly I didn't think it was wrong for them to kill him in Endgame. I just think that after that they should have just left it alone and let it breathe.
Yeah.
Like at the very least, finish up Spider-Man, No Way Home, and then there you go. Just leave it be. Instead, we got the Marvels and Guardians of the Galaxy and freaking everything else that's gone downhill. The Eternals. Blah.
Well, what's also weird about this whole thing is they're standing there trying to tell us, no, this is not a variant of Tony Stark. This is Victor Von Doom as you know him. And I'm just like, that's going to be very jarring to me if that mask falls off while they're fighting the Avengers and Spider-Man sees him and and they have no fucking like reaction to him looking like Tony. That doesn't make any sense at all.
If anyone, it would be Peter who would have a thing with it, but then he would also be the one to realize with the multiverse, because remember, No Way Home, he had all the different versions of him, the Tobey Maguire version, the Yahoo that's kind of lame Sony movie version. Can't remember his name. Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
That's it. Thank you.
I think
as long as they just don't make him Tony Stark. Just don't make him Tony Stark. Please. For the love of God, don't make him Tony Stark.
I think they just got to leave the mask on. It's one of the things I appreciated that they did in Deadpool. The whole joke, the whole thing they build up, they think, oh, you're about to see Captain America. Boom, Chris Evans.
Johnny Storm.
Everybody seen it? Don't want to give it away.
Has everybody seen it?
Oh, I should have asked that. I'm sorry.
I have not, but you can go ahead and spoil it. I don't have a problem with spoilers.
You sure? Jason, you've seen it?
I'm gonna see it, but go ahead. I will forget.
Damn it! I'm sorry.
I'm gonna watch it anyways, regardless of spoilers or not. It doesn't ruin it for me.
I will forget before I see it. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I had a lot of stuff I had a lot of stuff spoiled for me for Deadpool Wolverine. I still enjoyed it. Thanks to Anna, that Star Wars girl, posting all the clips. Like, what the hell, woman?
Man.
But I still had fun with it, though.
All right, let me put it this way. Spoilers are a selling point.
Chris Evans is in it. You're going to see something that's what I hope they don't do here. Frankly, I just hope they leave the mask on and you don't.
That ain't going to happen.
You don't see that it's him. I know. It's Robert Downey Jr. He's going to have to. It's me, RDJ. So, like, do they want to answer the question in this movie? Is Doom scarred, like, all over his face, or is he just vain? Like, I don't think this movie's the place to have what's been over 60 years of mystery resolved. I don't need the movie to do that for me. I don't even need the comic to do that for me. Stop doing this altogether. Like Wolverine's origin. Why did you do this?
Hey,
just
let
these things that are long-standing be.
All right, I do have a question for the panel here. I assume many of you have seen the 1990s Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie.
I've not.
Okay,
sorry, what the 1990s?
Yeah, I watched it a long time ago.
1990s. So in the 1990s, to retain the movie rights, the studio gave Roger Corman a very small budget and said, "Make a Fantastic Four movie that we can put in the theater for one day to retain the rights to fulfill to retain the rights." So there was a Fantastic Four movie in the 90s. But what is absolutely wonderful about it, in the most crazy of all ways, is that for the Doctor Doom character, it was probably the most accurate Doctor Doom we've seen in the movie so far. But they did not voice over his dialogue. So they had, so the Doctor Doom dialogue in the Roger Corman movie was just ambient. The actor coming through the mask. They didn't mic the mask and they didn't voice over. It is just bizarre, but in a way, it's very true to the character.
So he sounds like take control.
It was pre-Bane. It was pre-Bane, yes, but with more echo.
This bomb is armed. This bomb is mobile, and the identity of the trigger man is a mystery.
Every
So-
time my brother and I go to
So
over,
Bane,
like,
but in a
Article
tin
Mobile.
can. Got
Yes, a thick tin can. Yes, yes.
If I haven't,
It is
try it.
hilarious because, and I'm watching it. I'm like, George Lucas figured out like in like '77, you just overdub. You just overdub the guy in the helmet.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
original
Please
clip? The
overdub
original
Richard
guy
Cross.
doing the Vader voice?
Yes, it's so bad. He's stumbling his lines all over the place. I want him alive.
He sounds so British when he does it. I'm like, what the hell's happening?
British Vader. That's pretty
British
funny.
Vader. Well, it's not as
That's-
hilarious as Stone Cold Steve Austin as Vader's son.
I can't really, I'd have to cut the tin can open. I could do that.
Dude, somebody made a video where they just superimposed Stone Cold Steve Austin's voice over Vader's, and it's the funniest shit I've ever seen, dude. Like the scene where he's fighting Luke on the barge that's like hanging over the pit, in Bespin. Every time he hits him with his lightsaber, he goes, "What? What? What?"
Swig of blue milk for the working
Yeah.
man.
Dude, it cuts to Return of the Jedi where the Emperor's electrocuting him, and Vader looks over at him and he goes, "I'm gonna throw him over the top rope," and he picks up the Emperor and throws him over the dude. I'm crying. There's another one where he's in the hangar at the beginning of Return of the Jedi, and Admiral Piet, I think that's his name. He goes, "You asked the impossible. I need more men." And Vader's like, "Well, then get your ass outside, then, you cocksucker." Dude, it's the best. Check it out.
Not
if you
Admiral
get a
Piet,
chance.
but yeah, that sounds
Dude.
awesome.
Not Admiral Piet. I'm sorry.
No. How dare you?
I saw another headline on the RDJ thing that made me giggle a little bit, and I was just like, "Oof."
Oh, I did see this.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on.
He is salty, man. He is
Oh,
salty
he's gotta
as
be.
shit right now. Yeah.
The thing is, I was okay with his performance. It got a little old, but his role as the man at the end of time in Loki season 1 was actually, I didn't hate it. A lot of people did. I think it drug on way too long. I think he acted just as he would as a man who's not seen a friendly face in who knows how many centuries at that point. So
Yeah.
he just kind of going a little nuts. I got that.
Well,
But
there's
then
a lot
that's
of
how he played the character from then on. And it's like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Well, there's a lot of problems with this, in the fact that, look, everybody knows about his legal troubles, and the thing is, I liked him as Kang. He was probably the best part of Quantum Mania, as bad as that movie was. But the problem is, you bitched him out to Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if we got the Kang dynasty or not. The threat of Kang
Yeah.
is dead and done now because you bitched him out to one of the most C-list characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with
Not
this
just
one.
the Marvel
They basically
Cinematic
did-
Universe, just the Marvel.
They did
universe.
like
Yeah.
not the opposite of what they did with Thanos, where they built Thanos up,
Yeah.
in the shadows, behind the scenes, sideways. Kang is a character that makes even more sense than that. He is the man at the end of time. He's moving through time constantly. You don't need to see Kang. You don't always run into him. You encounter his minions or the effects of something that he has set in motion in the past or in the future. Like, you could have done that and then had him show up as a big bad to the Avengers in an Avengers movie where you've got a real threat. You're exactly right. Having him get bitched out to Ant-Man, like Kang in the comics would kill Ant-Man. Like, it would have already been over with. So
Yeah.
Kang needs to be portrayed as a master strategist chess player. But the key is that incrementally, as he gets closer to winning, he becomes more fanatic and unhinged. And then somebody has to betray him. That's the Kang story. And then he's knocked back down. And he starts building again, incrementally, more strategically. But again, as he gets closer to victory, he gets more bombastic and starts making bad decisions and getting paranoid. That's his tick. And I didn't see that in Jonathan
like
Majors.
every actor in Hollywood.
There you go. But the idea that he's stranded in the microverse and say it didn't ring true to me. I mean, he was effectively a warlord, but I didn't think this was a particularly a good Kang portrayal.
Yeah, there's a lot better. They didn't get the character at all. They just like they had a dartboard and they were throwing it at villains. They missed Doom and they hit Kang and they're like, oh well, Kang it is.
This is during the era where we were getting the great shows of freaking She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and
what did you expect? Marvel? Ms. Marvel was before that, I think.
Yeah, Miss Marvel too. Yep. The show that was so lowly rated, the only reason it wasn't actually hated more than any other show is because people just stopped watching it after the first episode.
Yeah. And people like the actress that played Kamala Khan. She seems fine. I think when she gets away from superhero films, she's probably got a bright future. But
yeah. Well, she actually gave a damn about it. She was actually the one. She seemed like she knew like which issues she could name certain. She's actually seemed to be a comic fan. She could name the issues that certain things happened in. I was like, you know more about this character than any of the writers. You're going to be the next Henry Cavill, aren't you? Oh no. But she seems like a genuinely
not a crap
perfectly
character
kind person. Yeah, she's a shit character, but like her as an actress,
her enthusiasm is very cool. Like,
yes, it's very infectious. Like, oh, you're adorable. You're part of a shit franchise, woman. Poor you. I'm sorry.
It's kind of how I feel. It's kind of how I feel about Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley's like, yeah, I'm part of Star Wars, and I'm like, oh, you're cute, but the movies are shit.
Yeah, I followed Helen Marie Tran for the longest time on Instagram, and she was freaking adorable, living my dream. Just this no-name actress being in a Star Wars movie, and that was back when I liked The Last Jedi for like a month. And she was just having a blast. She was crying at every event. She's like, I can't believe I'm here. I'm just getting really overwhelmed. And all of a sudden, her Instagram account just vanished because it was just too much for her to take. The poor girl. But it was, I mean, her character was shit. But like, oh, you're adorable.
I'm just thankful I'm not crazy enough that I can't separate an actor from the art.
Right. You don't have to like the art, but that doesn't mean bully, harass, and send death threats to the people that are playing these characters.
It's like she never encountered that. Daisy Ridley never encountered that. They never claimed that. The media claimed it for them. But what they claimed for them both is like, the fame was getting to me. I needed to get away. I needed to shut it down. And honestly, the same thing with Jake Lloyd, and and Ahmed Best. A lot of people want to say, look what the fandom has done to Jake Lloyd, Ahmed Best. No. Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best are still widely celebrated at every celebration they go to. People line up out the door for Darth fucking Maul, the last convention I went to. Like literally, it was full the entire time. Nobody had an issue with Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best. No fan did. The media roasted them like crazy, and both Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd have said that. So there wasn't the fans. It's never the fans who do this. It's always the media who just take it too far.
Because the fans are their greatest patsy or their straw man.
Yep. They hate fans so much they're willing to blame us for anything and everything wrong with their terrible stuff. And like Marvel's done the same thing. And I guarantee you, if Robert Downey Jr. does badly for as Dr. Doom,
I don't think he will.
I mean, I don't think he will. But if it's not well received, if the movie flops, I think it'll break even. I think it'll make enough money to justify another one, possibly. But Variety is going to be the first one to say Robert Downey Jr. came back as Dr. Doom. The fans really can't be pleased, don't it? Like they always do. Because we live in a stupid timeline. I hate it. We can't have nice things.
We live in the wrong part of the sacred timeline.
Imagine how much money they would actually make if they told the truth and sided with the fans. Just imagine that. Imagine all the power they would have to actually make the industry suddenly realize, oh, hey, these journalists are no longer on our side. Maybe we should start making content that the fans want.
Like, look at Deadpool and Wolverine. That movie just passed $600 million yesterday.
Really?
It's making fucking bank, dude. It's going to pass $1 billion over the course of the weekend. I'm calling it.
Think so?
And that's because the people in charge of it give a damn about the content because they know what the fans want. And when they give the fans what they want, that's how they make money. That's why Deadpool 1 was a success, why Deadpool 2 still kicked ass, even though it wasn't as good as the first. And I can't wait to see the third one.
Yep. It was made by fans for fans, and they were not shy about it. That love came through. Even they were taking digs at Disney and taking digs at Marvel, and they should, because this is a Fox movie. It's funny because we all know it, but this is definitely a Fox movie. But it was made by people who actually love the source material, and having that little. I'm sorry, I almost spoiled something, but it was definitely dedicated with all the cameos that came and went, with all of the, and they weren't just soulless cash grabs like Doctor Strange mom or the Flash. They actually, I mean, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. I'm not going to dignify with his full name, but the fact that like those were cynical cash grabs, it was there to try to get butts and seats to generate buzz, and this is not that. The cameos that do come in, they're not cameos, they are minor characters. They actually have a purpose to be there. They actually have a point. They actually have something to fulfill. They actually have a role in the story, and you actually get some. I'm gonna spoil it again. I can't. It's tough to talk about.
Do it.
Okay.
Why do you think I'm waiting after 2 weeks to do my review?
It gave some characters. It gave some very unexpected characters new life and some closure. And it did it very, very well. And that love came off the screen into the audience. We knew it was there. My audience went nuts whenever one particular guy came in. I've talked about it before. Or girl, one of these characters came in and they went insane. And this person was like the last in a long string of all these cameos. Everyone's like, yay! But then one of them, they want nuts because they wanted to see this person back on screen. Again, they can feel that love, and the more you watch the movie, you're not rolling your eyes because you're like, I'm enjoying what's happening here because they're actually doing right by this character, and they're not treating it like.
For those of you who haven't seen it, the amount of times you'll probably be grinning like a damn dork throughout the whole movie is unreal. Like for about 95% of that movie, I look like this.
That's good.
I really liked all the ones that they did. It was key jangling a lot.
It was a little bit.
Some of it,
but it was fine. It was like with No Way Home. It was fine. And that one, you got real closure, and they learned from that, and they did the same thing all over again.
Yeah, just give it a reason for being there.
Yeah. Unlike
cash grab like Mom.
Yeah, unlike Mom, most of the cameos.
Finale.
Most of the cameos in this movie, they felt earned. They felt like they had a place in the story. Yeah, they're key dangling, they're member berries, but at the same time, they still have a place and a spot within the story. It's not just thrown at you for the sake of nostalgia bait. Yeah.
Somebody who cared about what they were doing wrote this movie. I mean, Ryan Reynolds wasn't going to come back for just money. Like, why come back and do it just to make another Marvel film? And Hugh Jackman definitely wasn't going to come back. He was done with the role. He'd said it a million times and for years. And I'm sure there was a big chunk of money and some stuff on the back end for him that got him back. But if it wasn't good, he wasn't going to come back and do a shit movie just to reprise a role that was long dead. Like, he wasn't going to. He ended on a high note. Go out on a high note. And I think he still gets to with this. This wasn't bad. This was... It was a Deadpool movie, so it was fun. Logan was very serious. And while there were serious parts in this, it was still a Deadpool movie. It was still fun. It was still silly. You got to enjoy it. And you could tell that they were having fun with this. You could tell that even Hugh Jackman was having fun. Like, they had fun on set with it. And that came through in their performances. It made it such
I have a
an
question.
enjoyable movie for something that is very thin on plot.
What's your question?
In the movie, are they in like muscle suits like Homelander? Because I have seen post Deadpool Wolverine interviews of Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and they've lost all the muscle mass from their previous films.
They might be.
They are skinny, unlike Chris Pratt, who maintains his workout regimen since the Terminal List.
Yeah,
I would say Hugh Jackman's probably retained his physique because, man, as a 54-year-old man, that man, geez, he can still bulk up.
I don't know. Last one I saw, he was pretty skinny.
I've seen him in a few. He's not as shredded as he was in Logan or any of it before. He's not unfit because I've seen stuff on his Instagram where he's doing some of his musicals, and because he has to. He's a singer and a dancer doing Music Man. They even make a joke out of that in the movie.
And it's awesome.
You have to, if it's a singer and a dancer, you have to stay fit. So it probably would not have taken very long. He's probably lost a lot of that bulk, but probably the toning and the actually being fit, he's probably hasn't lost that. I don't.
I kind of figured that there was a muscle suit because that's why they had Wolverine's arms covered up.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
But he looked good that way. So it's like, here, comic book accurate, two birds, one stone.
As long as it looks good, because Homelander's like on the nose muscle suit, and the actor's just put me in one of those. I ain't doing that freaking fitness program.
Only
But
thing-
Henry Cavill did not need a muscle suit. In fact, he looked ridiculous with one in it. It's like I'll just gain all the muscle mass, and he did. It was awesome.
only thing
Yeah,
I don't
Chris
like is the
Pratt's kinda
fact that
turned into him. Like he's turned
Madonna,
into just a big dude.
Yep.
yeah. Only thing I don't like is the fact that Madonna's now stuck in my head forever because of this movie.
Same.
Oh,
How many times did I play that song? 4 or 5 times.
I have, and
many
you know
times.
what? I'm sitting there in pain, just singing it in pain because
I'll
now it's
take
just stuck
you.
in my head.
I was just happy they gave dubstep some love in the last one.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
But remember
man.
when Cable said dubstep's for pussies?
Oh yeah,
And then they played Skrillex Bangarang.
Hey Thanos, zip it. No,
Pop the hate brakes, Thanos.
Anyway.
Oh jeez.
oh boy, the juicy one.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
So is this on?
This
Is
is-
this on Amazon Prime? Is that what I
this
hear?
is on Amazon
It is.
Prime Video. Yep.
Yes, it is.
This is what everybody's talking about. I was looking for a good image of the penguin. Like I'm not digging. Oh yeah. Where's the penguin?
There's
Where
one.
he's doing the high heel kick in his face.
Yeah.
Look at there's the Harley Quinn.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
It looks like a juggalo.
Yeah,
It's like it looks like a
chunky Asian replacement.
it looked like a.
Well, they all
There's
are.
Harley
That's
Quinn.
hard. That's
They've all
hard.
been
Yeah.
swapped. Yeah,
Inst-
No,
so they've all been
that's-
swapped. They've all had the Netflix done to them.
That's
pretty
Harley
much.
Quinn. There's Gordon.
Batgirl ain't a redhead
Catwoman.
anymore. We cannot get roles in Hollywood. God damn it!
Nope. The ginger side is real, guys.
It is
I was
every
trying to
single
find-
redhead that has ever existed. was
Barbara
been
Gordon is
recast.
still a ginger. She's a black ginger.
Oh, there
Huh?
you go.
What
I mean-
is there a reason that they're just race swapping gingers, man? Like, what's the reason?
I think it's.
I don't know. You'll
I
have to take
no
up the
clue.
showrunner, who's apparently the one that also did the Batman animated series back in the '90s. So
Well,
Yeah,
it's been
this is
it's
Bruce
been in
Timm, isn't it?
media in
Yeah.
general. They've been race swapping anyone that's a ginger
Yeah.
or redhead character
It,
with
it's
a
like
black character.
it's like
um,
what's
every
the
single time.
reason? Like, why?
I think the most egregious thing out of this whole thing is that Bruce Timm had the audacity to make Batman use a freaking gun.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Huh. Well,
that is-
I mean, if we're
that
going,
is-
if we're
so
going by
far,
the,
that's the biggest crime I've heard of. Like that is just it's ridiculous. is
It
what
made
that is.
sense in Batman Beyond when he used the gun because that was when he decided he's hanging it up for good because he couldn't actually do it anymore, and so he hung up the bat suit, and then Terry McGinnis entered his life.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they gave us here we go. I found it. This is what I was looking for. In addition to obviously just in general, this one that's been on Amazon that everybody's. Oh no! Why did I do that? That wasn't what I was trying to do. That's the wrong
Inception.
thing
oh
altogether.
no,
I know, right? Let's watch ourselves be ourselves. Oh, there we go. So this is
It look-
apparently the biggest sex symbol even in Gotham.
That's
is what
Walter
they're
Cobblepot.
thinking as. Everything about the Penguin is just does.
Now
no,
let me ask you a question. What exactly was the point of this? Because Batman's rogues gallery is full of so many women that you could have him fight. Why would you sex change the Penguin for no reason?
the
Why?
message. That's why.
The only thing I could think of is that they had the same fetish for Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil 8: The Village.
Oh
But
yeah,
she's an original character.
and she's
that's the
also
difference.
attractive. Have you seen
Yeah.
the rock on that woman? You could hide under it.
See-
She could shelter from the storm under it.
She could
I
sit
don't
on
know.
anything,
I
man.
they must have had a
Like,
step on me mommy fetish. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
See,
I
the
wish
thing
you were
about the
kidding.
Penguin is that the Penguin was never considered attractive. He was always considered a freak. That was kind of part of his MO, his mental state was that.
Yeah.
And I feel like what they're trying to do here is they're trying to flip the body positivity on its nose and we're going to make the Penguin a woman, except a not traditionally attractive woman, but everyone in Gotham in the 30s actually finds her very attractive.
Well, all they did was somehow manage to make the Penguin even more of a freak by doing this.
I guarantee you, though.
Well,
I guarantee you that she is going to have a character. She's going to have a character flaw of like not. She's going to be just as vain as the original Oswald Cobblepot, but instead of there's going to be some kind of message somewhere. Someone is going to give her this advice, either sincerely or not. No, Oswald, it's everyone else that's the problem, not you. Which is something that
Oh,
would never
God.
fly for the original Penguin. For
My
original
theory
Oswald
is,
called him out. It's like, yeah, you're an ugly motherfucker. Go away. With like, no, Oswald, all of your villainy is just tied into the insecurity of bad, mean, poopy pants men. Guarantee that's it.
My theory is that so Penguin originally is like a mobster, right? Back in the day or whatever.
Yep.
I think what the whole ploy is she's now a woman of power, right? She has people that work under her, because most of the female characters in Batman are usually like solo characters. They do stuff on their own. I think that's the ploy with this is, okay, we have a woman that's in power, in charge of men instead, and so she's in charge with money, and I think that's what they're going for. Honestly, that's because it's like a gender swap, role reversal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is Ivy in this at all?
Not yet, but
If she is, she's probably not going to be attractive.
there's some
We've
character. I
already
don't
seen
know.
what they did to Ivy in the comics.
There's a Renee Montoya, I think, or something that's in the lesbian relationship with Harley Quinzel.
Oh God.
And it's
So tired of
apparently,
Harley Quinn.
and a Joker is apparently one of her victims, and that's how he ends up becoming the Joker.
You mean Insane Clown Posse Extra number 3?
Yeah. See, that's Barbara Gordon.
What?
Yeah. So what they probably have some DAI people in there or whatever. So now
That's J.J. Abrams. They most definitely do.
Because like back in the day in the 90s and stuff, it was like, okay, we're making a show, movie, or whatever game, and the checkbox was you got to at least have one black person in there, but they're not a lead character. It's just they could be in the background, some random background or whatever, and that was it. This is just the more advanced stage of that. So now you got it's like they're trying to make it to where, okay, white people are the minority. That's why you're going to have a predominant black cast or whatever, and you still got Batman or whatever. That's going to be like, oh, we'll give you that. But outside of that, they're going to try to make it where it's more racially ambiguous, more like minority centric societies and stuff. And I think that's what they're going for right here.
Yeah.
I mean, the show barely even follows Bat and Bruce Wayne. It's more along the side characters, particularly the Montoya chick.
Helmut Bar.
Yeah, that's the thing I keep hearing, is that Batman is essentially just a secondary character in his own show.
Which is disappointing.
Because isn't this like Kevin Conroy's last outing as the character before he passed?
That
No,
was
that
Crisis
was-
on Infinite Earths.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Yeah, this
I thought it
isn't
was Suicide Squad.
It wasn't. It was Suicide
game.
Squad, and then there's the game Suicide Squad, and then they had a Crisis on Infinite Earths where he's voicing like the Batman animated series Batman, but then their whole universe gets wiped out. As
Yeah.
In addition to the Teen Titans, in addition to the Justice League, yeah. He does get a badass last line, but I don't like how they did that. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to watch the first of those Crisis on Infinite Earth animated movies they did.
I've heard they're not that great.
At least it gave us Kevin. But at least they kind of gave us Kevin Conroy's last line. Gonna go out doing what I always do.
I'm with Matt Barr entirely. It is nothing but nostalgia berries. Anyone who's like saying, "Oh, it gives me all the original vibes," well, of course it does. Bruce Timm's the one who's the showrunner. Of course, you're gonna get the vibes of the animated series. However, you're not getting the true Batman. He's wielding a freaking gun.
Wasn't Bruce Timm also involved in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in some way?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Because they tried to hide behind that. Maybe I'm just thinking, because there's one of the creators of the Batman animated series who's just like an unctuous asshat, and there's another one who's actually kind of cool. So I don't remember which is which, honestly, because
I don't know. I'm gonna say asshat just because of this is probably Tim, and the cool guy might have been Dini because you never hear from him. He just
I think that was probably it. Yeah.
Went off, and I don't. What does he do? I haven't heard from Paul Dini in a while. Let's see, who else did they have in here? So I don't mind the tall ears, but like the Harley Quinn, I just no.
Juggalo number 3 from ICP. I'm telling you.
What's I don't want to draw attention to this because it's not the whole her character. What is with her rack? What is that?
I don't want to draw attention
That's
to it.
not,
but
that's not
what's
how
up
women are built. Has this animator never looked at a
Just look
woman?
weird.
Looks
He's
so-
never.
Yeah.
The animator's never seen a pair of tits in their life.
I know, like, make it believable. But that's also isn't this show also set like the 30s and 40s or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a period piece. So why do we have a black police commissioner? Why
In the 30s?
why
Yeah.
is there? Yeah, why else do we
Maybe
have?
it's based in Detroit. I don't know.
Well,
No idea what's going on.
Why
Yeah.
do we have open lesbian relationships in public where everyone can see?
Yep.
Because the
And
thing about it, nobody lived an isolated life in this era. By the way, the internet did not exist. You couldn't just
Great
nobody
Depression.
left you alone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Great Depression
how
was
it
full
works.
swing.
Why did they change her hair color? So we can't have
Well, they
gingers.
made her
And we
Chinese.
can't
They
have
made her
we,
Asian.
we can't have blondes either. It's
She
just-
doesn't. She
I
doesn't
mean-
even have the typical Brooklyn accent either.
They
Nope.
gave her wide shoulders
Asian
like
now.
a man. It's
Yes,
the whole thing is it's revisionist history. That's all it is. It's people who probably socialist views or whatever are getting these positions of writing the stories and stuff, and they want to do away with traditional American society. And they right now being white is deemed as evil and shit, right?
Yeah.
And so what they're gonna do, get rid of all the white characters as much as possible. They kept the one normal one, which is Batman, but they still didn't get him right. That's all it is. It's revisionist history, and it's going to just
What
keep
is
on
with
happening if people keep paying for it.
What is with this
Yeah.
description here? Despite a personable and bubbly demeanor, Dr. Harleen Quinzel is a brilliant psychiatrist who treats some of Gotham's elite. Wouldn't you want
I
your
don't even know what that
psychiatrist to have a personable, bubbly demeanor? I
Right.
don't know. It's just I totally want to go to a therapist that's a complete and total fucking stick in the mud. Yeah,
Mike,
that's
Yeah.
Mike, you go to therapy to get your issues worked out, not bang your therapist.
Ah,
Violates all.
Saw.
Yeah,
Puppy,
you're
that's
paying for the wrong
Puppy, that's
thing.
Daddy, right?
Yeah. And then,
I
yeah.
don't know, Jupiter. What would
No,
you
I
do
don't-
differently if this is, as a comic creator yourself? What would you do with this?
I have not watched this yet. I may give it a whirl. I did like the Bruce Timm CGI animated Green Lantern. It was 2 seasons. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
If I was given this opportunity, I would have said, listen, I want to pick up where I left off and do it the way I used to do it because it worked before. And everybody concedes that many people, that Bruce Timm version of Batman is their definitive on-screen Batman. So
Yep.
just pick up where they left off. I mean, maybe some of the animation might look a little bit different, a little more computerized. But I just would have done what the people want versus what we're seeing here. But
Well, it
Yeah.
sounds like a racist to me. Giving
What's
people
that?
what they want. It says that sounds really racist to me. Giving people what they want. How dare you?
Yeah, it's so evil.
Yeah,
You can't
I-
do that.
I haven't watched it yet either. I'm probably going to give it a couple episodes tonight just to potentially torture myself with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
You
I
know,
don't
there's
like
Alfred.
Alfred and the Penguin. I
Also,
love the Penguin
is
as a
that
villain.
Alfred?
that is
Yeah,
Alfred.
Alfred's also
Oh,
overweight.
What? What
body
the fuck?
positivity, Pennyworth.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody in the 30s was apparently overweight, and that's what they're like.
I'm gonna tell
everybody-
you now, I ain't watching this shit.
not Pennyworth, Poundworth.
Poundworth.
Like I said, I'm
Like-
gonna try it. I'm gonna be fair, but yeah, I don't have high hopes.
I'm already biased. It's trash to me. I don't care how great they animated the shit.
Who voices
I'm
Batman? Does
and I
anybody
ain't
know?
watching it.
You know, I had a question about that earlier because somebody said they weren't watching it, and it sounded like Sterling Archer, and I'm like,
I don't know
I
why I
was not
thought it was
supposed to be
Kevin
amazing.
Conroy. Somebody told me it was Kevin Conroy. I was like, what? No. But yeah, we can't give
What
fans
voice-
what they want. No, that would kill too many people for some reason.
Which is interesting that
very
like
dangerous.
Amazon. I kind of think they may have tied. It could be just Amazon tied themselves in knots here because they probably believe that we can't actually earn a superhero movie. After all, we have superhero series. After all, we're the streaming service that hosts The Boys. They're going to be expecting The Boys, so this is our audience now. So we're going to cater to them for some reason, even though Batman the Animated Series has been hosted on Amazon Prime for how long now?
Well, okay, look at this too. Amazon probably gave the funding and told them you have to do this, this, and this, and add these elements in there. Like, look at Rings of Power. It's the same thing. It was like, we're gonna race swap every character, forget the lore and everything. That's why you have Batman with a gun. That's all it is. It's you got Amazon got the fuck you money, and they're gonna just like throw it at whatever project, and as long as it meets their standards. So even the directors and stuff on it, like, to get the money that they to produce the show, we have to add these elements in there because that's what Amazon is asking us to do.
Yeah.
Well, they have Jamie Chung as Harley Quinn. Oh, what a mistake!
As soon as I saw where they were doing this on Amazon, I knew that Warner Brothers, whatever it was, they apparently didn't want anything to do with it. Like, if this was going to be good, if this was going to be a tentpole that had people coming in, there's no way Warner Brothers would have licensed this out to Amazon to do it. They're like, no, we're going to get some Max subscribers out of bringing back big name Bruce Timm to do a Batman series. And they knew that this was going to be what it is. And then like, oh, you can, Amazon, do you want to license this from us? Thanks, guys. We'll take that cash. You send money in. We'll take the license fee. Done. At least we're making some money. Because there's
we've seen pre-renderings of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We desperately need your cash.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, this is either very low effort or it's just something that isn't going to. That even at Max or Warner Brothers, they knew this isn't going to work out, so we're not going to put our name on it. We'll let somebody else take that risk.
I think it was actually Discovery,
and we'll make money on the license.
Discovery was probably looking at it, it's like, here's what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna actually profit from the DC IP. Because Warner, you've mismanaged it all this time. So let me show you how to make money. First, we're closing down Rooster Teeth. Second, we're gonna go ahead sell off. Oh wait, did they still own Crunchyroll? Or did they sell that off? I don't know. Who cares?
No, Crunchyroll and Funimation got bought by Sony, so that's why. Funimation
okay, I wasn't sure. I knew Funimation got bought by Sony. I wasn't sure if Crunchyroll had been sold off.
Yeah, Crunchyroll was bought by Sony first.
Okay, so Discovery sold off. So Discovery sold off Crunchyroll from the Warner franchises that they purchased. Then they rebrand HBO to Max, and now they'll just license out all the failed DC products to, say, Amazon, and now they don't have to deal with any of the backlash from all this stuff. Discovery knows how to make money.
Good, and when they do have something good on the docket, they'll produce it. They'll put it out. Like, I do have some hopes for Colin Farrell's Penguin series.
Yeah.
He was really good as a Penguin. Like, it played well for a lot of people. I think that's why it got a series, even though that universe is all done. And is Matt Reeves gonna do something else?
Well, they're saying the Batman Part 2 is still coming out 2026. So.
I heard that it was where'd it go? My mic died.
Didn't
we still hear you?
I can hear you.
There we go.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I got it.
But the article that you had with just showing all the pictures, I thought it had, was it Bruce Timm? Yeah, it had Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams. So he was involved in this too.
He was.
So Matt Reeves was involved in this.
I mean, he's involved with J.J. Abrams. They're pretty interconnected with one another. He's one of the acolytes of Jar Jar there. So,
acolyte.
Will this be the last thing that Jar Jar vandalizes?
We can never use the word acolyte ever again in a conversation.
What has he gotten so far? Star Trek, Star Wars,
Star Trek, Star Wars, Batman. What else has he gotten?
But we haven't seen anything from him after Rise of Skywalker. I think there's a reason for that. I think his number's up in Hollywood. I think he's done. This is probably because he's not a director. He's a creator, producer. Like, he's behind the scenes on this. He's not. And I haven't really. I don't know if I've seen any interviews from him. He just kind of went away, and it's strange to me. I don't think.
I think J.J. Abrams is a hack. Like, if you watch that old documentary where it shows George Lucas talking, and you see J.J. Abrams is sitting there, while everyone else, if you watch that scene in that documentary, everyone else is paying attention to what George Lucas is talking about, and you see J.J. Abrams drawing in his fucking notebook. That dude's always been a hack in the whole entire time. I'm just saying. I hope he sees this clip too.
Well, I'm going to produce something. I'm going to produce a show that you love, and I'm going to make it terrible just to piss off Vagabond.
I'm just saying, like, if you watch, if you see that clip where George Lucas is talking about the lore and everything with Star Wars, everyone at that table is paying attention to what George Lucas is talking about. You look at J.J. Abrams, he's just sitting there doodling on his fucking notebook. Like, that dude never cared, and I'm gonna stand by what I say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hollywood is just such an incestuous hive that all you can do is fail upwards, just as long as you know the right people. We're never going to see any improvement until someone comes in with something completely revolutionary that's outside of them.
It's full of people that are not there because they care, and they don't care about the art, and they don't care about making good films and TV. Actually, it's just a bunch of people.
Do you want
to looking for a paycheck? That's all.
You want to know why Netflix is having such success with importing Korean TV? It's because they actually want to create entertainment, not force a message, not shove crap down your throat that doesn't allow you to escape from modern life. Modern life sucks. Have you seen it? Have you seen the gas prices? Have you seen the turmoil with just even trying to get to know your neighbors? And they have, heaven forbid, they have strong political opinions that don't line up with your own.
Well, they imported cuties, and then I canceled my Netflix subscription. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But it did allow us to see some of our what was it? Our opponents' true colors over cuties. That's kind of fun.
Yep. Mr. Girl, what the fuck?
And I want to add to my J.J. Abrams rant real quick. Like some people don't realize too is just because someone worked on something doesn't mean they like the project they worked on. Like I know someone that's worked on that was actually one of my teachers that worked on every Star Trek video game that you probably ever played, but he hates Star Trek with a passion. Has no care.
So
he's also
backwards.
we were in class. He's like, I hate the franchise, everything. But he, he just collected the money and did what he had to do. And so he's also worked on every Deer Hunter game that's been out there. But he just
vegetarian.
No, he's not vegetarian. He also has a YouTube channel too, but that's the other thing. But that's the thing. It's like just because someone's worked on a project, like Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, it could be anyone. It doesn't mean they like the IP or care about it. And the evidence is in the work now that we see. If they actually cared about any of these things that they worked on before, we would be having much better quality material out there.
There's also this.
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
There's also this magic trick that they don't fully grasp, and even if somebody's working on whether it be a movie or a TV show or a comic book or whatever, they can be engaged with it. They can enjoy doing it. They can believe in it, but it doesn't necessarily understand. It doesn't mean they necessarily understand the magic trick that's happening when we watch it and what we identify with it and where it clicks for us as the people who are ultimately buying it, supporting it, and so forth. Yeah. And so that's something. So you mentioned the guy who was working on the games. He didn't love it, but he was bringing his craft and his professionalism to it. He was just getting a paycheck. Right. There could be people that quote unquote love. I love this, but they don't understand it, and they're not. They're missing that missing ingredient. That whatever the magic trick is, and it varies from property to property, from character to character, from story arc to story arc. There's always some magical ingredient that makes a certain show or a certain character click with people, catch on. I'm sure George Lucas had no idea that Han Solo would ultimately be a more influential character than Luke. It's not in terms of the one who was the most interesting, had the as great an arc as Luke had. So we on the other side of the camera or the screen, we're ultimately the ones that are identifying with some aspect of the story, and it's oftentimes gonna elude and mystify the creator.
Right. I
Yeah.
think an example of that is an anime called Yu Yu Hakusho, right? Or a manga. And one of the characters named Hiei was a one-off character. He was just supposed to be in this one episode and that's it. He was so loved by fans that they wrote him into the rest of the show.
Awesome.
And he became part of the main cast.
Awesome.
Same thing with Vegeta from Dragon Ball.
Awesome.
Yeah, Vegeta #1.
See, and this is the thing that I think that what we're missing today, to kind of build on what Jason was saying there, is that creatives today don't have the same kind of care. Like people who were old school or who used to work in Hollywood, old creatives, even if they didn't know anything about the character, didn't know anything about the story, they showed up to do good work. They had some sort of work ethic and they had respect for the work they were doing. They understood what it meant to have your name be something of a legacy, to be understood, to really build who you are. Like, you do things that you don't like maybe when you start out, especially as a creative, to work into a point where you're so respected for the work you did on these things you weren't even super invested in, that people want you to do something that you do care about, to really be able to show off who you are. Like, that's what's missing today. Like, creatives today don't care. It's a paycheck to them, and they don't even know where the next paycheck is coming from. They don't care. They work for the union. The union will find them money. And
some of the ones that care, they don't care about entertaining. They care about scolding and lecturing, and then that's their motivation versus any creative effort. Ultimately, there's this roll of the dice where you don't know if it's going to work or not, but you're doing your best to try to make it as entertaining and unique as possible, and hope it clicks. That's sorely lacking.
If there's one thing that's very apparent to me, it's a lot of these studios these days and the people that work at them, they're just allergic to making money. They just don't want to make money for some reason.
Yeah.
It goes back to Deadpool and Wolverine. $600 million. All they have to do is make shit that people want to watch, and you'll make money.
Maybe if their losses weren't able to be written off as tax write-offs, they wouldn't actually get away with it too much anymore.
I think even probably more plausible, but a little less fun, is that they really do think that they're creating a banger, but they're just too dumb to do it right and to understand. They're just too insulated to realize that what they're making is just sheer crap. Because back to Doctor Strange Mom, I really do believe that Michael Waldron, the writer of that abomination, really did believe that he was writing something decent. He was writing a WandaVision sequel. He wasn't writing a Doctor Strange sequel, which is what made it terrible. because the original, and that's why Scott Derrickson left, the original director, because he realized that he saw the writing on the wall. He knew what they were trying to do, and it was a big mistake. But for some reason, Marvel is allergic to money. And honestly, the first trailer for Doctor Strange Mom kind of looked pretty cool because Sam Raimi doing a horror movie. Oh, great! It's in the Marvel universe, and that's not what we got. It was an incomprehensible mess where they murdered Doctor Strange again, except this time they did it with his character. Wanda is still the misunderstood heroine. They really did believe that they had something legitimately good, and it was horrible.
I was done with that movie, and the first sequence when the entity that showed up chasing freaking America Chavez, they didn't actually have the right name for it. That guy's name is Shuma Gorath, and it should be respected.
Yes.
Speaking of portals, fellas, I have to drop. I've got to go do my usual Friday show. Thanks for having me on. I'd love to come on some other time. If the show runs longer, take a look at my trailer. It's got some cool animation. Go check out Jupiter. I'm kind of making the rounds because I'm trying to get the book to 10K. I'm approaching $9,300, and I'm fast at work on Jupiter issue 2. I cannot stick around.
Yes.
I got to drop, but thank you so much for having me. You all have a fantastic
Sorry for not getting to that sooner, Jason. I was about to bring that up, but if you've got to go, you've got to go. But we're still going to go over this because I want to talk about it a little. I really enjoyed the book.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the trailer. And those of you in the chat, thanks for hanging out with us. It was nice to meet you all. And I will see you next time.
Yeah, it was
nice
nice to meet
to
you,
meet
bud.
Thank you very much.
Hang out, man.
See you.
Or blessed take care.
I was quite literally pulling that up. Jeez, I like.
You get lost in the
I
weeds
had it ready to go.
sometimes.
Yeah.
No, we do. I should have reined it in a little more, but I do want to play the trailer for this. I really enjoyed the book, so I'm going to pull that up right now. Here, let's see if I can get it full screened. There we go.
What?
Wow. Oh, this looks cool.
That reminds me of some of that classic Silver Age art.
It really does. Like I'm
getting like old Johnny Quest
had
vibes.
such a
Yeah.
nice vision on the art there.
Okay, I gotta see someone on T-Rex.
I'm a motherfucking T-Rex.
Probably my favorite sequence in Mario Odyssey, turning into a T-Rex.
Right.
Oh, Salvador Dali action going on.
Once again, here's another man getting his book out long before EBS can.
Well, imagine that.
Oh, well, you know that these days, that's not exactly like it is.
It's amazing what you can accomplish when you stay the hell off the internet and work on your damn work. That's great. I'm really intrigued. I gotta know the story.
Are these like all the different promotional teasers all slapped together?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I have nightmares like this.
Oh my god, make it
This
stop!
reminds me of an acid trip that was once
What's
on.
happening?
Please tell me you got a link to where I can get this.
I gotta know the
do.
story. I gotta know what they're. Go double! Go double! Aesthetic?
I know, right?
Just take a shot and hit one.
Winner.
That's
Nice.
cool.
No,
That was
dude,
cool.
it's a book that you can definitely tell that he had a lot of fun with. I had a lot of fun reading it. It was a good time. Excuse me while I finish fixing something.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
There we go. Well, I'll just whip it out here. We'll just look at it here. So I want to take a look at it
No,
like page by page. Here.
I
So-
don't
Hey,
wanna look at it.
no spoilers. No spoilers.
Crazy.
No
I'm actually
spoilers.
not
You sure you
interested.
want to see it? You sure? Okay,
Give us
I
a
will tell you one
synopsis.
thing that I love. This the flip the back cover here, but no spoilers. All right, I won't reveal any spoilers, but it is a really fun book that I think everyone would really enjoy and check out. And like, it's already out. You can get it, and he ships insanely fast. If you're used to indie comics taking you.
Oh,
Taking us where?
I guess Indie Comics took him out.
No.
EBS's spider sense was tingling and he took Professor out. How dare you promote a book and it's not mine?
No, I will say I like the whole the artistic style, like a
Yeah.
retro
Yeah.
comic. The trippiness of like the ad. I'm interested. I'm probably going to be making a purchase pretty soon.
It's
Yeah,
very
that-
reminiscent of like 60s and 70s comics, dude. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Even some of those, even kind of the artwork kind of going in the 70s and 80s. I really
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, like the G.I. Joe. I just got some old Supermans. I kind of ride that line. And that's looks like fun. And 13. It looks like $13 for 40 pages. That's a pretty good
dude,
price.
I was getting some pretty old Jack Kirby vibes from that, dude. It was awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely got that
yeah.
too.
That's definitely something he was going for. Can you guys hear me? Am I back? Am I
He
alive?
lives. The
Yeah.
feds.
Yes,
There we go.
he
No,
is
guys,
risen.
guys,
He's
don't worry. Hey,
alive.
don't worry. I'm totally gonna fulfill my duties
The
from
prophecy
the Indiegogo here as the
is
host
fulfilled.
tonight. I'm totally gonna
Yeah.
deliver the book. Just somebody please bring me 5 pies.
Oh, never
man,
mind. I'm not gonna go buy the book. I'm just gonna go to the casino with your backer money.
Exactly.
Way to admit that on stream, EVS, you dumb fuck.
Oh my god, right?
I mean, it's not like he's a bright guy. He's an artist, and not all artists are terribly bright. Oop, that's not what I was trying to do. Let me go back over here.
But
So
I
what's
mean,
really cool about
Jason
the
has
book,
managed
one,
to get his book out. And
$13.
actually, I know that's a
$13
steal. This is a
is
no-brainer.
an amazing price for an indie book. I'm not going to show you anything. So there's a lot of there's parts in the book where you definitely get some of the very interesting, very wild kind of extra stuff. Like there's the back cover here that flips over, and you can kind of come from the back here. There's a little comic in the back. Like you're getting your $13 worth and then some. I think just from the Legion of Memers card. You've got the Captain Clean bottle.
It's very fun
card there as well. So
Since you read it, can you give us a synopsis with no spoilers?
I'm trying to think here. It's been a minute since I read it. I've had this book for a little while, actually. That's how quickly fulfills. Let me go through here and read it. So you've basically got a young kid who kind of is getting trapped in their imagination. They're seeing a lot of things. They're on a vacation, and they're imagining a lot of things. And then somewhere near the end, their imagination and reality kind of collide. Is probably as I try to spin up my memory of it. I've had this book for months now. I read this months ago, so I should have read it again before tonight, but I wasn't expecting to host. Otherwise, I would have had it done already. But definitely come and check out the page for it. Like again, you've got the artwork. It's very much like straight up Jack Kirby vibes. When this is where you're kind of in the young girl's imaginations. You can see here she's reading the comics, so it's kind of her going through reading the comics, and then this little portal device here. I don't want to give much away. It's a really fun book. He gets it to you. I was shocked at how fast it showed up. We're not even talking about the quality of the book. I'll talk about the quality of the person who's making the book. This guy is very solid on what he's doing. He's selling you for $12. It's a good sized book for an indie comic that is just him publishing it. This isn't anybody else behind him. This isn't a huge movement. It's just this guy out there moving this book, being on streams, working on things himself. It's just Jason doing this out there, marketing his own thing. And he's really close to 10 grand. Like I think that's impressive for just a guy on his own doing this. He goes on other people's streams. He's been on a lot of other streams. He's been on with the Legion of Memers and other people that are Legion adjacent. He hangs out with Common Nerd, and he promotes his book through these things when he can. But I think this is impressive. I don't have the creative skill to make something that would go this far. So I'm always interested to see how people get this. He hit 8,000 right away. He's still moving the book. He's still selling it. It's still printing. Wow. I know that it has a date of May 28th of 2023. So that was last year. It's still on demand. You can still pick up the book. It's still there. He's still putting it out there. And it's a really fun book. I know that he's working on the second issue of the book. So it's definitely a continuing story. But it was very interesting. The art was very cool. And at $13, you're not getting many indie books these days at $13. I know somebody who charges $50 for a 48-page book or a 40-page book even that may or may not ever come out. I'd worry about him seeing this, but he blocked me today because I told him he was fat after he got mad at John from John's Long Box. He was having a fight with him. And I don't know if you guys saw. Do you guys know who John's Long Box is? Have you seen him?
Yeah, we met him the other night on what was it? Was it Emma's Case show?
Yeah,
No.
Was it?
Yeah. We actually got to meet John. He's cool.
Yeah, Ethan, like the guy just broke his neck and had a car accident and shit, which you probably saw, like the neck brace on it.
Yeah, he did.
Now, if someone has undergone a very serious injury, what do you hope doesn't happen again?
Well, you know, here's the thing.
That's what Ethan basically told him, was to go break his neck again because nobody cares. So
Right
I had
there.
to say to Ethan, nobody gave a shit when you had a coronary and you were already late. So why don't you put down the fucking pies, fat ass? He blocked me.
I feel so bad for John, dude, because on that exact same show, he was talking, you know, he was pretty open about how, you know, he liked Ethan, you know, he likes Eric. He just kind of wished they'd come together and get along. I really hope this whole exchange is I really hope this whole exchange has opened up his eyes as to who, you know, Ethan really is.
Well, no, dude. If you saw that exchange, he tore Ethan apart, dude. Ethan was just calling him gay. That was all.
That was the.
I read half the thread. I didn't read the whole thing because most of it was just cancer. Like listening to fucking Ethan talk is just God.
Well, I went off on him a bunch of times, and he didn't even respond to me. He just blocked me. He had nothing to say. He didn't even try to fight with me. I haven't even read Godlike yet. That's what started the whole thing. Is that everyone's kind of dogging Godlike. I mean, I have it. I'm still reading Cobra Commander. I'm behind, guys. I'm reading good stuff, and I'll read this, and then I'll read Good Ying.
How dare you read better stuff?
I know. The art in it looks fantastic. Like
it does. It had me very intrigued, but everyone's saying it's terrible. So I don't know. Maybe word of mouth isn't bad in this case.
If Ethan saw this, he would still find a way to call this shit, even though he hasn't fucking read it.
Yeah. Well, Ethan couldn't take John's criticism of John Malin's book and went off on him over it. And it's like, well, he doesn't like it. So what? It's an opinion about the book. Like, we all get to have an opinion about these things. We all get to speak about them and be authentic. So one thing I like about John from John's Long Box, John, is that he's always authentic about shit. He's just straight up. He's just like a construction worker dude that loves comics.
Dude, we had an entire
when he was more than me, can show you his long boxes if you want to ask.
He showed us. He showed us the entire room that he has. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
And you know, dude,
that room is epic, man.
On MSK show, dude, we sat there and talked about D&D for like 50 minutes. He's cool as shit, dude.
Dude, he's super cool, dude. Like that guy is. And his book, Heroic Tales, definitely check that out too. But
yeah, he did show us that. The matriarch.
It looks cool. Like this is what I love. There are guys like Jason out there and John who are authentic and real people. Like if you couldn't tell by Jason's conversation tonight, like when he talked about Doom, I knew 100% this guy knew what the hell he was saying about comics, because everybody brings up like Doom is a conqueror, Doom's an ideologue. Like, no, Doom wanted to get his mother out of hell. That was
he is an altruistic,
back in the day,
egotistical.
Yes. All of that is Doom, but like his motivations were those things, and I was like, Jason knows his Fantastic Four. If you can't tell from his
Doom
may be a
conqueror. He rules over his own country, but guess what? He also did right by his people.
No, he doesn't. That was the thing that makes him an interesting villain as well, is he believes he is in the right for what he's doing, because he's saving the world, even though it's through crazy dictatorial means. But no, he had a great point on that, and he had a great point on Reed Richards. It's like if Pedro Pascal just isn't gonna he isn't gonna have that vibe. Like you've got to come in with Reed Richards almost as manic and driven.
Did you guys
the closest
on that note? Did you? Sorry, go ahead.
The closest Pedro Pascal has ever really gotten to that in his entire acting career that I've seen is the Nick Cage movie where he's like the coked out super fan friend of Nicolas Cage. It's like that's the closest you get to him being manic, and even that's not on Reed Richard brand.
Well, it's funny. I don't know if you all saw his appearance at San Diego Comic-Con. he came up behind Vanessa Kirby in a kind of creepy way, and apparently he has really bad social anxiety. So he's standing up, and I don't want to I don't want to dog the man for having social anxiety, but so he came up behind her and was they like held her hand, and I guess did it for needed it for emotional support or something like that. Which I don't want to dog anyone who has any kind of social anxiety. That's not what the point of what I'm trying to say. It's the fact that this is your guy, this is your leading man, this is the smartest man in the world, this is your main character, this is like your first, because Fantastic Four are the Marvel's first family. This is your patriarch. This guy who stands off to the side next to everybody else and has to rely on his co-star to get him through this whole thing. He should be out in front leading everything, out in front leading everybody, being kind of the one directing all the attention around, like a true patriarchal leader does. But this guy is not that, even in his private life. So I don't know why.
We're talking about modern Hollywood and stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
It's more about the actor instead of what they're portraying themselves to be.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's my point. Like, he can't do this because Hollywood won't let him.
Well, that's the other thing with the casting of Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Right. If they really cared, they would have. They could have just got an unknown actor and just kept him in the suit the whole entire time, the mask on the whole entire time, and kept his face more mysterious. But it's not about that. It's about a lot of normies will go see an actor or whatever, right? As opposed to someone like us, we were looking for a comic book depiction. Like I am planning to go see the movies like the rest of you guys are, but the reason why is because I want more comic book accurate stuff. And that's what the beauty of Deadpool is like, yeah, there's some bits and stuff that could be changed, but at least it honors the source material. Everything else, like, I don't care about the actors' names and stuff like that. I'm there to see Deadpool or Wolverine, you know, and that's it. And like, I don't like seeing The Rock playing every single thing, because I don't want to see The Rock playing himself. I want to see him play not try to be himself, but be the character, and play as the character, and we don't get that as much. Movie. Yeah. And so I think that's pretty much what we're gonna get. Is it's all about the actors and big names. What big names can we get in here to draw seats, as opposed to let's make a movie in honor of the source material.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like it's such a rare occasion when you get somebody who's going to stick to the source material, not even just in comics, but even like movies based on books. I mean, Jurassic Park is a great movie, but there's some shit in the book that would have made it like, it would have just been epic, dude. There's some really great stuff that they left out of that
straight up R.
movie.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been really good. So, even good movies will have things that are left out, like that aren't true to it, and it can be a good movie without being true to the comic. But or you've got to have people that actually give a shit about what they're doing, and that's kind of what we're rallying against in this. Like, it isn't that we hate the characters, and it isn't necessarily that we hate the creatives or hate Disney quite so much. I mean, I guess in a sense that they've leaned into ideology over creativity. It's the fact that they don't give a shit about the creative process. They cast their writers, they cast their directors. They don't get people who are right for the roles or who are the right people to write the movies, who have come up through the ranks and earned it by having actual creative talent. They just cast people into the role of writer.
Can we highlight Andy Pickles' comment? His last one. And to add on to that, what was the movie that had what's his name, the wrestler guy in it, right? The Peacemaker, right? And he was told not to read. Yeah, he was told not to read the comics because they're not going to follow it, and that's what I'm talking about. At least, so like Ryan, I was about to say Ryan Kettle,
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, so Ryan, like, okay, he doesn't know the character. That's the role he's trying to play. So he goes study to go become the character and not himself. And then I forgot the rest of it. It was just when you guys just said it, John Cena or whatever, right? That's what he was trying to do too, but he was told not to. And that's the difference why Deadpool's successful and Peacemaker was shit.
Remember, John Cena's a good little boy that does what he's told. When he says something bad that's saying Taiwan is a country, he goes out and makes sure that he apologizes to China.
Oh, baby,
Indeed.
he saw John Cena. Don't say such thing. Bad man. White man.
John Cena, don't trust China. China is asshole.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the difference between them. Is like Ryan Reynolds went and figured out the character and wanted to understand it, and he liked it. Like he actually went and found the character and said, "Oh, you'd be great as this," and they're like. And he read it and he's like, holy crap, I would be great at this. Like, I love this character. And he actually wanted to do something good with it. He wanted to do something that the fans would enjoy as opposed to mindless crap, basically.
It's like, we're going to instead, well, it wasn't just, it's like the Top Gun. It's like the Top Gun Maverick effect. The sheer fact that he didn't hate the fans immediately made a better film. Leaps and bounds ahead of anything else that's come out before. And the fact that people can sense that. People sense bullshit. People sense inauthenticity, which is why She-Hulk was an absolute disaster. Hawkeye was less of a disaster, but not great. Falcon and Winter Soldier was, again, one of the worst TV shows I've ever seen. And
I liked it more than Hawkeye.
Really?
I could go either way on both of those two. Like, it's which one was.
Well, I never saw Hawkeye, so I don't know. But just like the fact, but I was also
Hawkeye was the introduction to his Mary Sue replacement.
Yes, indeed, and the fact that he was simping over a terrorist is like, what the hell are you doing? And that's like the hubris of Hollywood thinking, oh, we wrote a banger. Wait, let's think about this for 5 seconds. What is actually happening here? Let's put ourselves in the standpoint of the audience. Oh wait, they don't do that.
What about Moon Knight? I thought Moon Knight was a very missed opportunity.
The fact that titular character was barely
started off strong.
The first episode was awesome.
Weird. It had so much potential when it started. If they'd have just stuck to Mark Spector and did nothing else.
I thought Oscar Isaac was great throughout the whole thing.
He wasn't bad. If they would have just left him street level and didn't need to make this ridiculous bullshit out of it. Just left him street level, had him fighting street level guys, and don't do this overbroad shit. It would have been good.
Yeah.
Like they had all the right pieces there, and they started off, and it's weird. The way that show played out was like they had a really good idea up front, and they probably had a really good script, and at some point they got noted and say, yeah, but can you make with the superhero things, get some laser hands? Like what's going on here? Like,
we need
didn't understand the character
and a strong female replacement.
Turned into. Yes, exactly. We've got to have that.
I mean, I still like it better than whatever the hell Falcon Winter Soldier was.
Yeah, I was done with
Soldier was trying to sell a lot of message. And just to cover the message, they're like, "Ooh, we're going to make these guys kind of like Antifa. Doesn't everybody feel better about it?" No, it was still an show. Yeah. Anthony Mackie, the Falcon, getting turned down. You want to know what took me out of it? When he got turned down at the bank for a loan. Like, fucking please, what bank is going to do that to a literal celebrity? I'm sorry.
Worse than that, though, is his sister sitting there, and that woman is a fucking cunt. I wanted to punch her in the face. She was awful. She was. Oh yeah. She was the epitome of the toxic black matriarch. Prove me wrong. Constantly putting down her brother, criticizing him for never being there. I'm sorry he was off saving the world and got dusted doing so, you bitch. She's so ungrateful.
I'm sorry, not only that,
awful.
Like, he was a veteran. He was a fucking soldier.
Yes, he was a soldier before that.
A superhero.
Yeah, and she's criticizing him. Oh, you left us. Like, bitch.
Yeah,
and then he came back later. He saved your ass.
So asinine and frustrating, and it wasn't real. It didn't smack of realism to me. I'm sorry, but a bank isn't gonna overtly turn down a veteran, unless they're I mean, there's a lot of things that a veteran could be experiencing that would probably keep them out from having that. But if you have an upstanding guy who's got a solid job, who is a veteran who comes in, banks want to give these guys money, and there's programs.
If a bank denies you, then fine, go to a fucking credit union.
That's not even a meta thing. That's in the show. Here's the thing. She did this thing that she did the thing that she does from then on to the rest of the show, which is like, yeah, I bet you don't have enough money for us. Trying to make it a race thing. And he's like, no, we're literally not giving away any money to anybody. I would love to give a loan.
Yeah.
I'd love to give a loan to Falcon, absolutely, but I can't. You don't have the assets to back it up. I'm sorry. And then she's turning into a race thing. Every single thing out of her fucking cunt mouth is another dig at racism that she has never experienced in her goddamn life. But the only reason I'm so incensed about this is that's the writer whose only claim to fame is a couple episodes. He's a couple episodes of Empire and like a couple of black romantic comedies in the early odds.
I've gotten their notes from Jesse Smollett about racism.
But that's it. They could not have a black Captain America without drawing attention to his race, and that's what fucking made me so angry. Is the fact that Anthony Mackie that Falcon just stood there and took it, and the fact that the writer was saying, and because you cannot separate the meta from the in-universe stuff anymore. You just can't now. Not with Marvel. You could before, but post Endgame, no. Everything is a commentary on everything else other than what's actually in the show. And instead of they mentioned the Tuskegee Airmen, how they were kind of originally they were originally super soldier test subjects, and it all went terrible. And that was part of a kind of real life history you could bring in. But then Isaiah Washington has the gall to say to Falcon, "Hey, by the way, they'll never let a black man hang on be Captain America," forgetting the fact that apparently in universe, Obama was president. So they can't. So again, the more you think about all of this, the shittier it gets. But it was the beginning of the end for Marvel, because they couldn't help themselves comment on shit they don't understand with people that we don't care about, and try to make everybody as belligerent and mean as possible. It's like, I hate all of these people. I want them all dead. They don't know how to write heroes.
The folks writing that never actually experienced oppression and don't know what oppression actually is.
No.
And
So,
so and
theater.
Andy,
and they've been it's been brainwashed in our modern society that like if you are any color that's not white, that you have to like
you're a victim.
You have to
immediately.
be woe is me, and it's all about racism, this da 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 or whatever, and all that type of shit. And but even still, I bet you this writer's never been to a hood before, never seen a drive-by, someone dying in the street in front of them, hasn't experienced any of that. They live in some fucking suburb somewhere in this modern society, yet they're crying about racism and shit and everything. And the other thing is, none of these people know anything about escapism at all. And so they can't write about escapism because they have to write about real world events and then throw it in your face. Like, and that's the problem, is like, if you don't have no imagination of like, okay, what's something that can get me out of the situation that doesn't involve like racism and shit in every single topic, they can't do that. And that's why these writings suck.
Did you guys also see where they removed Harrison Ford's attempted assassination attempt out of the Captain America 4 trailer because of the whole Donald Trump thing? They did. They removed it.
No way. I didn't see that.
They did. Yeah, they did.
I would be surprised if it gets left on the cutting room floor. Ooh, I found one more thing in here.
Like, God damn it, another reshoot.
Just one more thing here to get off of this subject here.
I just ordered it.
I wanted to show you guys these cool ass postcards you get. It's with this as well. Why can't I make this full screen? Why do you hate me? YouTube? Oh well.
Oh, you think I work for you, son? What?
I know, right? Here we go. It never does work. It's always just doing something on my butt.
Stone Cold Computers.
I'll work around the technology.
There we go.
Problems here.
There we go.
So it comes with a bunch of cool postcards. If you're a dork like me that likes collecting these things, he's got this wild, interesting, different artwork that that one for you reasons. See a little of it in the book, but you have to get it as an add-on. It comes with a cool little thing there. This one's my favorite. What? T-Rexes and shit. Like,
So are these sequences in the book, or are they just artwork that he did?
No, I believe these. Where are the postcards at? I'd have to dig them up again. I
Uh,
put the postcard somewhere else.
This is trippy as balls.
this
Dude.
is,
Yeah, I know, dude.
This
Love
is wrinkling my brain.
Yeah, the postcards were pretty cool. But everybody out there, please go check out Jupiter. Oh, I lost it. Let me go back.
Yes, don't give your money to people that hate you. Give your money to people that actually want to make good stuff for you.
Yeah,
honestly,
there are people out there still today who actually
I'm gonna
wanna
buy
make
2 of
comics
them,
with Jason
honestly.
Sandberg as well.
One for myself and one for my actual master. So
Cool.
I must send him a copy. He loves Jack Kirby's work, so he'll definitely love this.
Yeah, you definitely know when someone's inspired by Jack Kirby with all the fun little dots and ethereal colors and on it. Yeah,
You
yeah,
get
all those shapes,
who was that?
all the fun like little misty shapes.
Yeah.
It's an old book, but you knew he was a Kirby fan.
Stippling in space.
I know, right? Oh,
Kirby fan. Hi. He's my main on Smash.
I love fighting Kirby's because I would just go and up smash them in the air with Fox.
I'm Pikachu the whole time. I'm there to
hit you
annoy
before you
people.
turn into a block.
Like, damn it!
It was
That
it
guy's
was Jim
indestructible.
Starlin doing Warlock and Silver Surfer.
Whoa!
Gave me such OG Kirby vibes. I loved it. Like, can I find the first issue of this?
What's so funny? A video that I just pissed myself laughing. I saw the Kirby theme played over Snoop Dogg's "Drop It Like It's Hot." It fits perfectly. It is fan-fucking-tastic. It's like drop it like it's hot. I'll put the video in here. It's pretty great.
I could just see Kirby like showing up in the video.
He does. He has a little background. He dances the entire time. I'll show you. Oh, wow.
That is
like
awesome.
OG.
Dude.
Hey, expand your screen.
This is when Silver Surfer and Warlock.
Expand your
Yeah,
screen.
here.
I am so surprised we didn't
tiny.
see freaking Warlock show up in the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
Considering at the end of freaking Guardians of the Galaxy 2, they had the whole "and I shall call him Adam," and it was basically the birthing chamber and everything, or the rejuvenation chamber.
If you want to get technical, he isn't Guardians 3 technically,
but it's not him. Whoa,
I know. That is cool. Holy shit.
That's Jim Starlin, right?
Yeah. So like, just
Oh my
you know,
God.
he had the real Kirby vibes. Like, this is back when somebody really gave a shit about the way your outer space comics looked, etc., etc.
I just read
camera lens cracked there,
and really
Dad?
liked it. Oh,
I think it is.
Dad.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
across
not sure
his
if it's
forehead.
cracked or it's just it's dirty.
This was a Christmas present from my wife. It was the first comic I ever got when I was a kid. My dad got that for me.
Oh, nice.
I didn't
That's
have
so
it
cool.
in my collection, so there it is again. He was a huge Silver Surfer fan. He loved Jack Kirby and all that stuff.
That's awesome.
Savage Dad, is your camera lens like it does it have a hair or is it cracked or something?
No, it's probably just out of focus. Am I on manual?
No. There is
there's
a distinct line that's going across your forehead when you go over to the other side of the screen where you are there.
Yeah,
And
it's like a crack or something.
Yeah,
right there. Yeah.
it looks like it's either a crack or a piece of hair or dust on there or something. Oh, it's definitely it's hair. You can see it wafting with the air on the far left side in the upper corner.
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. That is a little weird.
That has been driving me nuts for like the past 30 minutes.
No,
it's a crack. Yeah, it's a crack.
Oh, shoot.
What's
Yeah.
what? Oh yeah, because there's something on your shelf that's blowing with the wind.
Okay,
so
that's something on
that's
the
probably
shelf.
what you're seeing.
But that's
Or it could
that's
be
like
a pen mark.
scratch or something
It
on the
looks.
lens.
You got if he doesn't see it, it might be like a little pen mark or something.
Is it gone now?
Maybe he got it with that.
No, it's still there.
It's
It's a crack. It's got to be.
Shoot.
What is it?
Did you drop your camera lens
I didn't think so recently.
webcam.
See.
or drop something on top of
Ooh!
it?
Blinded by the light.
Flashbang out!
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Snake.
Snake.
An interesting effect for sure.
Deploying flashbang.
There we go.
Humiliation.
You're blinding everyone on stream.
I thought I reset it. Now it's just I've got to turn back on again.
It's a full
we go.
moon tonight, boys.
I know, right? Let's go back to so we can see everybody else. I'll be whited out. Look at that. Oh my God, so much white supremacy on screen.
I was about to make that joke.
White power.
Just remember, there was a black man that said white power.
Oh man,
You just said it now too.
reminds me of a Cards Against Humanity game I had with my sister. I was so high last night that black people turned into white people.
Okay, you got it now.
Is it still there?
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, it's
It
gone.
was the other side of the lens. It just had some
Uh,
shit on it, I guess. So I need to
I
clean.
know.
I need to clean all of my lenses, really. But all right, let's get back to normal. There
That's
we
not
go.
a joke. That's not a joke, by the way. That's some of the
Sorry
best
about that. It was
cards
just
I've ever
driving me
had.
insane for like the past 30 minutes. I was just seeing it.
Insane. Like, what's going on? I felt like I would see a crack if there was one. I stare at this thing all day.
Yeah, it's like the time I had to explain to my sister's ex the concept of what a honky was. Motherfucker legit was like, "What's a honky?" And we're like, "You, motherfucker, that's you."
How do you not know
We
what
have
a
to
honky is?
ask you are one.
You must not live in the South or something. I mean, honkies even know what honkies are.
No, he was just a fucking idiot. Like, I'm so broke up. Like, my God. I didn't like that motherfucker the moment he walked in the house. I was like, I don't like your face. I don't like your presence. I don't like that shitty broken down truck you drive that you cut the fucking muffler off because you think you're some big badass. Like, I don't fucking like you, dude.
Hey, worse than an
So
Italian
speaking of-
family.
Speaking
Frick
of
at my house.
weird honky ass shit and people that may not, people who are misunderstood, maybe. What did you guys think of this shit with Kyle Rittenhouse fucking last night?
Applause
Oh my-
for that transition, by the way. Well fucking
My
done. That was
goodness.
god tier.
Well,
done.
someone explained to me what's going on. Like, what's going on with
Okay,
Kyle
so Kyle Rittenhouse had it in, apparently misread some policies Trump's administration or Trump's projected plans were going to be regarding the Second Amendment. So Kyle Rittenhouse came out publicly on a video saying that he's going to write in Ron Paul as a presidential nominee. Then everyone lost their collective shit.
Yeah.
Going, oh, you're voting third party. You're essentially voting for Kamala. It's like, oh my fucking God, you people are no better than the leftists who lost their mind because people voted third party against Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Now, granted, the ridiculous bump stock ban happened under Trump too. So I understand the trepidation. I don't know why he chose to do that because I mean I was Team Kyle from the very beginning, and that was one of the best days of my life watching him watching him get exonerated. And I was just like, why? I wasn't angry. There were a lot of people that went nuts. You're completely right, Nemesis. There are a lot of people that just lost their fucking minds, and for really stupid reasons. It's like, just
homie have his freaking reasoning, his opinion, and what he wants to do. That's fine. If he's mistaken, then I'm sure someone will correct it. But everyone
he made
just
another
going
statement
freaking
later on.
pitchforks and mobs makes not us, but that side look no better than the other.
Vagabond.
Yeah, he made another statement saying he did talk to Trump's team today, and like it was a misunderstanding of policies.
Yep.
But either way, like, say if we did ignore that and like it wasn't on the policies. Like, I like Ron Paul, to tell you the truth, and I'm a libertarian, so I'm biased in that end. But honestly, I'll take my left nut over fucking Kamala Harris.
That's the thing. That was kind of. I completely agree. That was kind of my take. This is not the time to start writing in people. And I was having kind of this conversation with Sheep City and Horror Murata. Hail to both of them. Mm-hmm. They were both like, oh God, like they were taking Nemesys's approach, whereas just calm the hell down. What are you doing? You're actually just like the left. And I do agree to some extent. I was a little bit, I didn't really care at first, but I'm just kind of wondering why. But this is definitely not the time to write in a candidate because we had a president have a pot shot be taken at him. We have had So this is only in the last 2 election cycles, like both midterms and presidential election, has it just become acceptable for there to be delays in counting the votes. For as long as I've been a fucking live, we have always known the results of an election the next day because we weren't because there wasn't.
Except for Gore v. Bush.
Yeah, but that here's the thing. But that I thought about that. But there's a reason for that. There was a lot of back and forth. There were recounts. There were court cases going back and forth. There was a system in place to figure that out. There was nothing for that in 2020. Everything got booted immediately. It was just kind of insane.
Rectified it. So
yeah, and it.
Well, the other thing about that one is that one was okay, guys, because that was the left saying that the count was wrong.
Yeah.
Come on. And also remember 2016? It's just like this is not. We are on the verge of a world war, like because the Middle East is not calming down at all. We have a puppet currently in office and another one running. This is not the time to try to divide the ticket at all. This is the time to project a united front. Because this, and I know in every single election cycle, it's always the most important election of your lifetime. Every single election is the most important election of your lifetime. It's old. The
world's always in chaos, and 4 years has never changed.
Agreed. However, this feels a little bit different because we have someone took a pot shot at took a pot shot at a president, and I have not seen, and someone tried to assassinate Reagan, but he was in office then. There's all sorts of weird shenanigans. There's all sorts of weird corruption stuff going on like this. If that bullet had found Trump, if that bullet had actually taken him out, we would have had far greater things to worry about. I don't think we would have lasted very much longer. But it just feels like we're on the knife's edge of total destruction. Maybe not total destruction, but destruction in some way. And it just seems like why would you do this when a united front is required 2 months until the election?
I'm of the mindset that Tim Pool had it right in this prediction. If Trump had died, we would have gotten Nikki Haley as the primary. She would have won over Harris because they're both warmongers, but one woman is better than the other because one can actually speak off script. Sure. And we would be at war with Iran the second that she took office. Anyways, the real thing is that I don't think we would have fallen into chaos in that regard. Now that Trump has survived it and has solidified and galvanized his support, now if another attempt happens, this will end in balkanization of the United States.
And I completely agree, because especially we see how many people were sad that he missed and expressed those sentiments in public. Not politicians, by the way. Their staff, people all the way from like people who worked in like a post office or a fire station, or staffers for
representatives,
for politicians. Yeah, staffers for representatives.
Very representatives who were trying to remove the Secret Service protection.
Exactly. Everything. There is just. You're exactly right. There is so much. There was just so much about that whole situation that people agree now. Like there was something fishy going on. Definitely,
there's still whistleblowers coming out from the Secret Service, and I'll tell you right now, after
very
this
strange
happened today, they're setting him up to be in a war when he gets there. Joe Biden is beefing up the military in the Middle East.
Saw that.
He's sending aircraft carriers, sending troops. He's sending boots to this fucking region to get into this shit. We're going to be, what's going to happen? And people have called this before. I would not be surprised if we were in a war with Iran by the time November hits.
Yep, I wouldn't be surprised either. And here's the thing. If that does happen, I don't think Trump is actually going to end up just pulling all support and everything out of it because we'd already be engaged, and that'd just be irrational.
That's why they're doing
However, what he will do is he will end it promptly because he only has 4 years. He doesn't get another term after this. So he'll just be like, F it, we're in this. I'm just going to end it promptly. Here's another Moab.
Here's the thing. Trump is nothing if not incredibly decisive. And what he's been known for from the very beginning, all you got to do is read The Art of the Deal. He knows how to make deals. He's very, very good at it. The reason that we had veritable world peace from 2016 to 2020 is because he was making these superpowers behave. There's a reason Russia invaded Ukraine during Biden's presidency, a year into Biden's presidency, might I add, and not Trump's. There's a reason that China had behaved itself or Iran behaved itself, because Trump would nuke anybody, not nuke, but Trump would kill anybody who tried to rattle their saber and be like, we're going to attack you. No, you're not. I'm going to destroy you. Okay.
Yeah. Y'all remember like when they were playing around with that Syria stuff and wasn't allowing us to get out of it. Trump was like, all right, there's the top general in Syria, Moab it, turned into a crater.
Yeah.
And then the world was like, that's conventional weaponry. That's not nuclear. We're done. Hey, look, peace deal with Israel? Sure, sign me up. Saudi Arabia goes and signs it.
But better yet, I remember everybody losing their collective shit. Even some of my friends who were like, "We're gonna hit it 1, 2, 3." Like, no, he's not. What did they do? They lobbed a couple missiles near an army base that they gave plenty of warning. Just to save face in front of the countrymen, they lodged a couple of missiles towards an army base that came like a mile or two away from it. That they gave plenty of warning for people to take shelter, and that no one was in danger. That was all Iran did, and then they railed and ranted and raved because that's what they do. But that was their response, and then that was good. That was like, okay, nothing else since then.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he does.
Really interesting. They're setting him up to be in some shit and to have some shit go off. Obviously. Like, it's very likely that we end up in that war. But to the point of like the things with Kyle and his maybe he had a misunderstanding, or maybe, in all honesty, when I watched the video, I was like, it didn't feel authentic to me. I was like, did somebody convince him to be like right-wing Harry Sisson? Like, what's going on here?
No. What he's giving me
is libertarian Harry
me
Sisson.
Anti-David Hogg vibes. That's what it is. Because
Yeah.
David Hogg wants the destruction of the Second Amendment, where Kyle Rittenhouse has taken up championing it, because that's probably the best platform for him to take as a career following his infamy, thanks to the media and
you got to go with what you got, man.
Yeah. So I don't blame him for going that route. Get that bag, dude. However,
get paid any way you can, son.
I mean, just be a little bit more educated before you make a post like that. Otherwise, you are going to get dogged.
Yeah.
See, that was the problem I had with it. Now, I don't care who he votes for, but it's like, guy, you're coming out here being an anti-Trump influencer, basically. Like, why? Like,
it looks bad. Even if it didn't mean to be bad, it looks bad.
Do it on your own. But to make a whole video about it and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Like, I don't need like the influencer part of it, Kyle.
The thing is, it's part of the group he's joined with. And the guys follow. That's what they just do anyway. So they probably talked him into making the video. I forgot the name of the group, but that's basically what it boils down with. Is the group of guys? Not like I forgot. Someone mentioned it earlier on Twitter, but it's a group that he joined with, and they're more like extreme. Like, hey, it's 2A or nothing else, and that's it.
Yeah, and I understand the one issue voter, I guess, but like in this day and age with all the shit that's going on, are 2A's at risk, 1A's at risk, children are at risk, society writ large is at risk, the economy is in fucking tatters. Like I can't just pick one fucking specific thing to fucking ride or die with at this point, because it all feels like it's coming apart. It feels like we're sitting here, hanging out on the internet streaming while Rome burns around us is what it feels like some days. And it's like, I don't want to see that. And I wasn't mad at Kyle for it. I didn't like the way he brought it forward. And I then you see all these people losing their shit. Like, I wish you would have fucking gotten guilty and turned it. I'm like, dude, wrong energy. No, there were people saying that shit, dude. Look at what the fuck the quartering reposted. Some nut job. That's the wrong energy, MAGA. Like, seriously, guys, what you need to be doing. Okay, boom. You lost one. And Kel, if you know Kel from Vegas, or if you know him from Dermy Wormy streams, Kel made a really good point. Like, hey, only like 156 million people voted last time. There's 170 of them out there that you haven't got yet. So you lose one. MAGA needs to go out and get 10 others to replace him.
Hey, you're not gonna win the other side. You need to win the ones that aren't voting.
Yeah, you need to win the centrist. You need to win the dare I say it, libertarians, because I mean,
Yeah.
not members of the Libertarian Party, because they are as statist as they come. I'm talking individual libertarians who need to be convinced to vote for you. There's a lot of people in the center who will not vote, and that's perfect, and that's perfectly fine.
My number one priority first and always will be freedom of speech, because the second that we lose that, we get an authoritarian state, and then I lose my ability to create music. Look at Mother Russia. They don't create music. They create classical arts, something you could be trained in since childbirth.
Exactly.
For me, so I used to be a person that would never vote. Like, I was like, it's a fucking waste of time and all that type of shit. Plus, like I said, I'm a libertarian, and I'm an ANCAP, you know. But what made me vote was, I'm originally from California, and when Biden said he had Kamala Harris on the fucking ballot as the VP, I said, "Oh hell no!" And so I registered the vote the next day.
Vagabond's like, I don't want to go back to the plantation.
I said, but yeah, that's based. Not like legitimately, that's what happened. I said, "Oh hell no!" And if you don't know her, so like if you don't know Kamala Harris's background in California, like that should be like the biggest red flag of them all. And like, so she was a prosecutor, and like if you had evidence that she would make sure like the evidence that could prove your innocence and stuff was not allowed to be shown in court. And she got so many people locked up. The whole her acting like she smoked weed all this time. She locked so many people up for just smoking weed. Like she's the biggest fucking liar on earth. And like,
did you hear about her dad actually coming out and, you know, basically not disowning her, but outright rejecting everything that she's not rejecting everything that she said, but denouncing. That's the word I'm looking for. Outright denouncing her over her whole weed comments and everything. With her trying to,
I mean, I don't know about all that, but like her whole background, she got into power because she had sex with Montel Williams and fucking Willie Brown and all that type of shit. So she's like, you can find pictures of her and Montel Williams, and Montel Williams right now is trying to champion her right now and shit. And but like that's the whole thing is like, she's Indian the whole entire time, and then she's black after the 4 years or whatever. And yeah, she's gonna say her dad's from Jamaica and shit. If you actually been to the Caribbean, like I actually went to school and shit in the Caribbean. There's an Indian community, like people from India that live in the Caribbean as well.
Not only that, her dad explained like where her grandparents and everything came from, but the way she was communicating to the black community about being one of them, you know, smoking weed and all that stuff, being with the hood. And he's like, no, that was not the way she was raised. That is not the way her parents were. She painted them as like your traditional Rastafarian Jamaicans, you know.
Yeah,
my greens are legendary. I washed all my greens in a bathtub. Like, fuck off, bitch.
Yeah, her dad. The other thing too was her. What was it? 1 year she mentioned about her family celebrated Kwanzaa and shit her whole entire life, and then like Kwanzaa didn't even get invented yet until like she's already fucking adult and shit.
She was in college smoking weed, listening to Tupac. Tupac wasn't even a thing yet.
Yeah, like she's a fucking liar. She's the worst liar than fucking Joe Biden.
Her dad basically came out and went, "Yeah, bitch, quit lying."
Besides her dad, did any of you guys see the shit Judge Joe Brown had to say about her?
Oh
no, but I need to.
You're about to.
Oh, I love Judge Brown.
Speak the truth, Judge.
Everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor.
I already love this.
And attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But you know, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris. And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black? And by the way, she told one big lie when she was talking about she got bust because of something Biden did when she was running against him. Well, the yearbook that she put out there that you can still get online from her high school in Canada shows she went from kindergarten through 12th grade in Canada, never went to school in the United States of America.
Wow.
She was born
Wow.
away in the same hospital that my ex-wife was born in, the same 12-month period, and my late mother-in-law was in fact a pediatric nurse in that hospital when Kamala was born. And the birth certificate that she has is interesting because the confusion comes from a mistake. On the birth certificate, it lists the mother's race as Caucasian, national origin India, and religion Hindu. For the father, it does not list national origin. It does not list religion. It does not list anything about that, but where it says race, they put national origin in Jamaica by mistake.
You know, I'll say this. I would vote for this motherfucker before I ever voted for Kamala.
100%.
And then she was.
The thing is, the only what makes to answer his question, what makes her black is just the fact that she's not white. That's all that makes her black, because that's not even my definition. That's not her definition. That's the definition of the entire Democrat platform.
Well, the thing is, she's racially ambiguous when you look at her.
Yes.
So she can pass as a black person. She might have a little bit in there. I don't know. You know, I don't do no DNA test swab.
It depends if she's in the same room with Willie Brown.
But the thing is, she's a racially ambiguous person. So when it's time to be Indian, she can be Indian. When it's time to be black, she can be black. And that's all it is. And then most black people are fucking retarded. I'm just gonna say that right now. It's just they're going to vote just based upon race themselves. So all she has to do is be racially ambiguous enough as being black or whatever, and folks, the retards out there are going to vote for her. Just saying.
Can I just say that Judge Joe Brown was the best daytime TV judge of all time?
Yes.
Yeah, Judge Judy. I've partied with her yacht crew, but you know, I'm sorry, Judge Joe Brown was way more no nonsense than Judy.
Yeah,
dude, he gets no nonsense here in this clip. Let's play this one.
But I gotta ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit. I was in California. She lacked professional competence, and she worked on it by
She's a piece of shit.
Nice.
Oh my God.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you know about her history in California, it's like she's the fucking worst. And
there's a reason she couldn't even get her own state's nomination.
But it's the same thing. Like, if people outside of California, like, because like say Gavin Newsom ran, which I'm surprised they didn't choose him, because like everyone outside of California is not familiar with how fucking horrible this motherfucker is.
Yeah, I guess he's more a prospective candidate in the future, whereas they're thinking that this one, even if they never manage to recover from Trump's popularity post the assassination attempt, that Kamala is a good enough throwaway candidate whose political career doesn't matter if it continues on after this or not.
Yeah, they just want to get rid of her.
Also, the reason that she's even involved in any of this is because she's the only one that can inherit Biden's war chest.
Pretty much,
because it's to his campaign and she is on his ticket. So,
and she'll be done. But if you thought that beginning was rough,
worked on it by hiking up her hemline when she needed influence rather than researching. She's always tried to do the casting couch to get where she wants. Now, the problem is that'll get somebody to a certain level quickly, but you can't get past that level if you don't have competence and talent. So my thing about it is if I'm crude about it, in this city years ago, I used to represent a whole bunch of pimps and hoes, and I know a hoe when I see one.
Oh man! Oh, I wish my mom had taken the offer to have her civil case tried by Judge Joe Brown, but he didn't. Oh, I could have met this man.
Oh
I could have met this man.
I know a hoe when I see one.
Dude, God bless this
T-shirts
fucking
need
man,
to be made
dude.
about. Man,
No, we need it.
Seriously.
We need a T-shirt with a picture of her on it, and the caption needs to say, "I know a hoe when I see."
yep. I think he's not
I just
wrong.
need this guy. I just need to meme this clip. That's just like I just
Yes.
need him, his
Yeah,
face, and just
absolutely.
I know
Yeah,
when I
dude.
see one.
All right, let's finish it up here. Let's
Say
see.
this, I don't care, women, you do what you want to do if you want to have recreational sex, but when you do the casting couch or anything else for professional purposes to get paid or advance, you a hoe. And she's an old hoe. And the problem is what is she supposed to do? Somebody, one of her sycophant slaves, comes up and unwraps her in a carpet naked at Putin's feet, and he says, "Oh yeah, I'm Julius Caesar." He said, "No, ho, I got better stuff here already. Plus, I don't want you anyway. You old woman. Get on up." You know, or Xi Jinping, is he supposed to be impressed? She's doing word salad. Well, we're here today because China and the U.S. are here today, and that's why we have to agree on what we're doing here today. Like, fool, what did you just say? Did you say anything?
I watched these clips the other day. There's more clips out there, guys. I highly recommend that you go and find these.
I love that he had this come out today, and then tonight Kamala Harris had her first off script speaking, and she just completely fumbled it. And meanwhile, Biden is just staring off into space, and eventually goes into an empty plane, thinking that he's boarding it when they literally just came off the damn thing.
Oh, dude, it's I said this when it happened. No, I said it when they tried to kill Trump, even I said no. It was when the Biden thing with Biden happened. I said if they get behind her 100%, they're taking the L, and they're absolutely taking the L. I'm sorry, but this whole bullshit that they put out, like trying to push her to the forefront as the actual candidate, nobody fucking buys it, and it's already coming apart at the seams. It's like when they tried to sell us that the assassin was a fucking right winger. Like, sorry guys, they failed to launch. The gaslighting is not working on the American people anymore because people are out there making sure that the truth actually comes out and you can't hide it. Thank God, Elon Musk.
I mean, Gab's CEO just came out and was like, here's his tweet history, and it's all pro-Trump or not pro-Trump, pro-Biden.
But how many people of sizable influence have come out and been like, and they're not saying that they're voting for Trump, but they're like, yeah, I can't vote for Kamala. I think this is ridiculous. Like, how many? She has lost so many people.
All of Silicon Valley at this point, except for Google. Outside of Google, all Silicon Valley,
California to people. Hell, black people know what they did. What she did to them in California, keeping them in prison just so that she could have them work literally as slaves through prison labor. I mean, she was top fucking cop, man. She made all that shit happen, keeping people in prison past their terms and shit.
Yeah, it's nuts. But I don't think anybody really buys this. Now, that's not to say we shouldn't get sanguine about the election, of course. Like, don't. No. It's not a wash. It's not over yet.
To go with you,
but I don't think they have. It just doesn't seem like they have near as much. If this is a fair election, they're toast. But the thing is, now I got. But that's the thing. I don't see how they could possibly. Well, that's the thing. They don't have mail-in ballots this time. They may have some voting machine, but if one voting machine goes down, we're gonna be like, what? Like, honestly, Trump's campaign needs to be on that, like white on rice, because even the appearance, because they don't care about the appearance of corruption. They haven't cared about it since 2020, and that's the fact that they've been wanting to sweep everything under the rug as quickly as they have been in 2020. They can't do that again because they can't rely on mail-in ballots anymore. They can't rely on anything like that. It's all going to be paper now. Even Fulton County now had to reject a shit ton of, like, 500,000 ballots because they're all terrible, because for whatever reason they couldn't pass muster on any of their authentication. Yep. So like a lot of people have tightened up their election requirements and have tightened up their. So who knows?
There are 3 problematic states that are going to have to be watched out for.
Yeah,
Arizona, Pennsylvania,
I know,
Wisconsin. Those are the 3 most crucial states also to Trump's victory. He's polling to win in those 3 states, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania by the narrowest of margins. However, Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, they're up in that Rust Belt right next to Michigan and Minnesota, and that's where we see a lot of the BS happen.
Yeah.
Georgia, I don't think we'll see the same repeat that we had back in Fulton County this time around. However, those 3 states, we've seen it with Kerry Lake. We saw it with the midterms. We saw it where there's already freaking evidence of it starting up ahead of time with one of the election officials actually had to resign recently in Arizona because of a scandal.
Yeah. He's
They
one
all
of
need to be
many in the
resigned
past few
because
years.
they're all corrupt here, dude. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
But
if it weren't for your freaking government, I'd be living back in my hometown of Mesa. God damn it.
Well, it's so funny that does anybody know in Arizona? Does anybody know, apart from like Phoenix or flag fucking staff, does anybody know a legitimate blue Democrat in Arizona? Like that state is as red as my face when I get embarrassed. Like,
but I live in Maricopa County. They're here.
Yeah.
And they're in Flagstaff. I can tell you that. But
yeah,
Maricopa County's big,
I can
Strider.
tell you that.
Okay.
Maricopa and Gila County are going to be your big problems. Everything else, not so much, except for I think it's Navajo County. It's up where Flagstaff is.
Okay.
But the rest of it, no, it's all red. Well, even my neighborhood is red, and I don't live in downtown Phoenix or anything, but it's here, Maricopa's a bit mixed, but it's blue because half of California that was too lazy to go to all the way to Texas stopped here during the pandemic and made it
here's nice
just
enough.
as expensive to live here as it is to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
I live in North Carolina, and this whole state is just a mix of everything and everyone.
See, I'm from
Yeah.
San Diego. San Diego is now the most expensive city in California.
Damn.
Really?
Fuck, man.
Phoenix is hella pricey, dude.
Yeah, like Houston's
It's not what I remember.
I don't
being,
know.
that's for sure.
Up towards downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, some apartments up there are going for almost $2,300 a month, and it's fucking
Jesus.
ridiculous, dude. And that's just 1-bedroom apartments, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Very glad I got a tiny house for only $500 a month.
That sounds like the dream. That sounds like
Well, I
love
know
it.
people in San Diego, what they'll do is they get you a Sentry Pass for the border. It's like TSA for crossing back to the United States. You pay $150 is good for 5 years. You do your interview with the Border Patrol. And basically, while everyone's in line, your line's like 5 minutes while everyone else is waiting 1 or 2 hours to come back to the States. And you can rent you an apartment in a gated community in Tijuana for like $400 to $500. You get you like a 3 or 4 bedroom house. Use propane for your electricity and heating and shit. And then you go work and stuff and everything in San Diego. You go across the border at night, and that's where you go sleep. And then you get you one of those UPS store mailboxes, and you still get all your mail, your ID, and it counts as an address to use in the States. So that
sounds nice.
That is wow.
That's the way to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but people are afraid of Mexico. I go to Mexico all the time, but I mean, not as much as I used to. I live here in Georgia now, so.
I mean, I don't understand why people are afraid to go to Mexico. I mean, fuck, dude.
It depends on where you're going.
You just keep to
Yeah, it depends
yourself.
where you're
Don't
going.
cause any problems. You'll be fine.
Again, I
No,
mentioned this before. I live in an apartment with all Latinos, and they stare at me every time I dare set foot out the door. I'm like, guys, act like you've seen a white guy before. Fuck off.
No, I will say this: I have paid cops off in Mexico, where like
that's the thing.
You
I
about
miss
to
trips
pay,
like that.
get your car towed off. You give them a $20 bill, and they look both ways and tell you to get going on your way.
Bless government corruption.
And
There you go.
I almost went to jail in Ensenada. That's a whole nother story. But
I remember when you told us that one.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of super white people, was this you that posted this, Strider?
Which one? Oh, yes. This is great. Yes.
Oh no! What happened? What happened?
It's pretty. It's really, really funny.
Did I blow it up? Hold on.
I think
Why
you
does
blew it
the
up too
screen
high.
look like that?
I think you blew it too high.
Enhance.
Yeah.
Enhance.
You
You enhance too much.
I've gone too far.
Look, go back, go back.
I know, right? Oh wow. There
There
we go. All right, let's see.
Can you start over? Instagram. I hate Instagram. some of the videos, like all the videos I found are awesome on Instagram.
Here we go.
The hell?
Did I get the sound? There it is.
Am I locked? They didn't serve plates. Only buckets. Only one Barbie. For every man. Get on there. The guy's playing.
That means something. I don't know what that means.
Glasses. And
It's better.
It was full of hookers. It cost a favor.
Oh.
I had a I smoked them all. Till Dixie.
That's what they sing next.
I want to make a song to that story.
Dude,
Right.
yes. The beginning. Yeah.
Am I
They said buckets, yeah.
They put glasses. Oh, not nice.
Can we? I got a question. Can we all do? Can we all do that at the meetup in Vegas next year?
Yes, no, that the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
like that. That's a big thing. If you can do it right, if you come up with a good story, if you are able to do that, then yeah, absolutely, we should do it.
We got emotional roller coaster story. Let's do it.
Yeah,
That actually made my night. That was awesome.
I bust out laughing every time I watch that. That's my happy.
I
video.
gotta know who posted this one. I gotta know.
There's
I gotta know
there's
who
just
this was.
there's
Where'd it
just
go?
something really like heartfelt about seeing a bunch of friends just be friends and do friend things. You know? What
Yeah.
I mean?
I'm guessing it was. I'm guessing
Yeah.
it was at the end of a wedding or some kind of special
looked
occasion
like
because they're
it,
all dressed
yeah.
up in
It
suits
sounded
and
like
stuff.
a toast or something or a story.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take a guess and say that this one's Vagabonds.
Yes.
Oh no.
How could you tell?
Just I don't know, something about it.
It's from an anime called Golden Boy. The English voice acting is hilarious.
Hey, what's this? A black bra! Life is a mystery. I love the research.
Whoa.
Oh my god, she's not wearing a bra! Behold, the human Cuisinarts! Oh yes! My queen! Oh yeah! At last, I shall demonstrate my computer skills. Since I didn't have a computer, I had to teach myself using a keyboard made of paper. How'd she move so fast? It was like she... Oh shit!
Feels so good.
It looks good too. Oh, I love my job.
Okay, director, I love it. But you'd better make this film gripping. I want to grab the audience by the balls.
I'll grab them and squeeze. They won't be able to sit down for a year. Excuse me, can I have your autograph?
Fucking love it.
I may be dim, but it's always dark before the glorious sunrise. Oh, well, you know, I mean, it would be a real pity if you were to lose our match 1 month from now and become a total loser in the process. Wouldn't it, ma'am?
You're quite cocky.
Oh, yeah! I'm not quite feeling myself today. Those were my notes. Those notes were more valuable than my life. Money can't replace that kind of knowledge. Those notes were priceless.
What?
Oh, shit.
Whoa!
What's going on, ma'am?
Who unplugged my file server?
Yes!
Oh, thank you so much for turning it off for me.
Me! It was I!
What?
And
Like I
that's from
said,
the,
pretty damn
that was
good.
from the anime Golden Boy. The Japanese is good too, but the English voice actor, like
you know, dubs
He's
get
really
a lot
good.
of flack, and I understand there's some dubs that are genuinely horrible, but when they're not, why do people think dubs are so bad?
So,
no,
sometimes they just add to
I can
it.
explain that.
Okay.
So a lot of modern English voice actors don't care enough, and and so when you hear some of the Japanese voice acting compared to the English, is just like the actors or like the Japanese actors, a lot of them are really into it and
Yeah.
like put all their emotions to it, and a lot of modern English voice actors, it's like they're just reading their scripts as opposed to like putting their life and soul into the character. And that's what makes most of the Japan, you get some hidden gems once in a while, and they can kind of pass for like the comedian voice actors that do comedies all the time. They totally love what they do, and you can sense it. But like when it's not a comedy and a lot of stuff, it's usually a hit or miss.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless I've just been watching animes that have good dubs, I've never watched an anime that's had a really bad dub. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think you
I
probably
mean, I could
find it
show
with
you some, but
comedy.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the comedy ones are good, but like when they're not comedy, it's like a hit or miss. Or if you hear the Japanese voice actors compared to the English, it's like a whole nother level.
Well, recently I've been watching Spy X Family, and the dub for that is actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, the English dub on Spy X Family is good.
Yeah.
God, what's a recent one that's actually pretty atrocious?
I think the Attack on Titan English is actually horrible.
Oh yeah. Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Yeah. I've caught a little bit. I was like, because for the while I watched the first 2 seasons just subbed. I was like, this is great. And then I actually saw clips on like YouTube or Instagram or whatever of the dub. Like, oh god, I made the right choice.
Or the one that's famously bad, and this is not even English, it's the Portuguese voice actor for Vegeta.
Oh no.
And that one, I might have to play that clip one day, and it's real short because it sounds like all the grunts and stuff they make, it sounds like there's like a porno or some shit. And
there's a lot of grunts and screams in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like the sounds the Portuguese voice actor makes is so like it's hilariously bad because it's like you can't take it seriously. That's how bad it is.
I just finished rewatching the Fate Zero anime. I watched it. I mean, the dub and that's pretty good, dude. I love that.
Fate UFO Table does great work all around, and they don't allow for subpar.
You see what's behind me, right?
Yeah. Well,
Now
I'll give you an example, like
the Heaven's Feel trilogy, son. It's fucking awesome, dude.
I recently marathoned everything like 2 months ago. All the way from Fate Zero, all the way from original Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, Heaven's Feel, and Grand Hoarder.
Dude, there's not a lot of trilogies I'm willing to call perfect, but to me, this is a perfect trilogy right here. I love this fucking trilogy.
I like the Unlimited Blade Works path more.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
it.
a Osaka boy.
Yeah, an example of the opposite, where everyone says the English is way better and far superior than the Japanese, is Aroni Kenshin and Dragon Ball itself.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. The all you have to do is hear Kenshin's voice in Japanese, and you'll see why.
Gotcha.
And some people like it's a female voice, it's high feminine, and like even I can't get past it, so I'd rather watch the English.
Yeah.
However, the intro in the intro in the Japanese version is even worse than Kenshin's voice.
Wait, for Aroni Kenshin, the intro? I like the opening music.
I hate that opening music.
No, that song's in my playlist. If I showed you my no, that song's amazing. I love all the songs to Aroni Kenshin.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna like throw nothing but Hiroyuki Sawano at you and just be like, here, we're gonna push all the bad music out.
I'm trying
And
to think of
was
a
not wrong. Bebop was pretty good in English.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
think
One
of a
Piece has actually been pretty good in English too.
I can't think of any genuinely bad dubs that I've seen. I mean, well, Vagabond named Attack on Titan. The dub on that is pretty iffy. Yeah.
Dub video games I found are kind of like, oh god, what am I doing?
Dude, there's only one way to play Ghost of Tsushima, and that's in Japanese.
That was fantastic.
I don't know what the hell. What the hell is this, Strider?
Just watch it. You'll laugh. You'll laugh. You'll laugh.
Oh my
me.
god.
Are those grapes? What are those?
You'll laugh. Just watch
I'm
it.
not sure yet.
Bet you've never had black balls like these before. These chewy desserts are made from a plant called skunk vine. They go by a lot of names, but my favorite is cow poop balls. They don't actually taste like that though, I promise. I also made ones with coconut. I bet you've never had black balls like these before. These chewy desserts are made from a plant called skunk vine. They go by a lot of names, but my favorite is cow poop balls. They don't actually taste like that though, I promise. I also made ones with coconut. I bet you've
Wait, he's just looking at her like, bitch.
I ain't gonna be used as a prop. How dare you objectify me?
Who the hell do you think you're talking about?
I about had an aneurysm when I watched that. I'm like, what in the world?
I
Oh god!
How much this person understood proper cinematography. That slow pan, bro. That's everything you needed. You told the story of what happened there with the perfect slow pan. That's all you had to do. That's talent right there.
Him just deadpan staring at her is what broke me, dude. like look at his face. He's like, really? Really?
Nope.
I'm not gonna be used as some prop.
Oh man. Okay. Now let's see here.
Dude, sometimes when I'm having a bad day at work, I'll come home and I'll sit in my bed and I'll just scroll through videos. Just like
what happens when gamers have too much time to themselves and the ability to create things.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh, no. What the hell?
Oh.
Welcome
Diddyland.
to Diddyland, the most unhappy place on earth. By your favorite celebrities. Come cool off at Epstein's.
Oh no!
Is that real?
The best
Is that
place
in there?
to keep.
Oh
Or
shit!
take a splash at R. Kelly's Golden Splash Water Slide. Then stop
Oh,
by
tell me this is a real
Charlie
mod.
Sheen's No Names Store.
This isn't a mod. This is real stuff made in game with
Yeah,
assets.
world class dining. At
Someone took the
Louis
time to make
C.K.'s.
this in an
Sugar
MMO
chicken
version of
stand.
Fallout.
I made your chicken the other day. It was good.
Only the best for our guests.
What the fuck?
Bring your kids to Cheers Wieners, where kids always eat free. And don't worry, adults. We have something for you too at Trump's Mega
Oh, man.
World. 18 plus only.
Hell yeah.
Only the best live entertainment. But remember, do not touch. Want to get your blood pumping? Stop
Oh,
at
no.
All Walker Speedway and see if you can avoid the obstacles. Get in line early for Kobe's UFO Flight Simulator.
Oh no!
Your accuracy at Alec Baldwin's Bullseye Bash. Or Todd's Microtransaction Arcade, where we have 3 whole games and more on the way.
Skyrim again.
Don't forget to check out Princess Diana's Wild Ride.
Oh.
Or play some classic games like Bumper Cars at Tiger Woods Smash and Crash Bumper Cars.
Oh, it should have been Bruce Jenner.
Don't forget to stay hydrated while you're visiting the park. Stop by Kaiju Refreshments and knock out your thirst. Then check out Sleepy Joe's Afghan Airlift.
No.
Just remember to hit the soft spot or you'll end up like this guy. Is horror more your thing? Check out Spacey's House of Horrors. Or Dr. Disrespect's Guided Mind Tour.
No.
And don't forget to check out the gift shop. Pelosi's Gravy Train has everything you'll ever need. These deals are so good, it's almost suspicious.
Oh, that was amazing.
Oh my god, guys, that is a video to end.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that was amazing.
Oh man, that was
Oh.
fantastic, dude.
Gamers
a
are great.
banger tonight.
Like, oh man, I can't top that one. So I'm gonna say let's wrap it up here, guys. Nemesystemic, man, what do you got coming up?
I got another week of streaming ahead of me, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1:30-ish p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be starting brand new project for the month of August. New song to go in. We're another future-based track, maybe go melodic dubstep more in with it. But this time it's going to be, instead of just following along with a tutorial, it's going to be pre-planned, going at it, taking what I've learned and actually composing with intent instead of just going with the flow. Basically, I'm structuring it down to 4-week process. Week 1 is idea and composition. Week 2 is arrangement. So from the idea and composition, we basically get an idea of a story we want to tell, and I either put together the verse and build up or drop and break into it. And then week 2, we get to the arrangement where we fully build out the song. Week 3, we go into full-on mixing. Week 4 is when I send it out to other producers for feedback and everything. And I take their feedback, implement it into it, master it, and then end of month, release it. So song number 2 is in the works and on the way. Although I will be having to take a break during week 4. My brother will be moving from Iowa here to here. He's going to be living here, so he'll be around now. That'll be on the 26th of August. So I'll be taking a short little break then to drive up there, load up stuff, and help bring him down here. So might have another Yahoo on the channel.
Cool. All right. Well, that'll be cool, dude. That sounds like a lot of fun. It's always interesting to see you work through these things. Like, it's really cool how you have that structure. I like seeing that.
Appreciate it.
All right. Vagabond, what do you got coming up, man?
Well, I'll probably be making some videos this weekend. I have to unbox my goodie I got last Wednesday.
Nice. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. It's good.
Yeah, I got the I wanted it all box or whatever. And then yeah, then I'm also making a video. I bought 2 things of that s'mores ramen, so I'm gonna try that on camera. And
oh boy.
Yeah,
sounds awful. God.
Yeah, I heard it was good, so I'm gonna go try that. What? And then and then
human.
Yeah, but I decided I was going to instead of finishing trying to edit the green screen out of my Balut video, I'm just gonna play the Balut video, so you just see the fucking green screen behind me. I ain't editing that shit out. And so and I was like, I'm doing all this hard work because like I'm doing frame by frame. My computer's not handling the rotoscoping and shit. So I'm just gonna like fuck it, just release the Kraken. So I'm gonna have a video of me eating Balut, which I actually liked it. It was pretty delicious. And if you're not familiar with Balut, it's that it's an egg duck fetus that's barely hatched, and you just suck it out of the egg, whatever. It's pretty good.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
See, this is why Vagabond is the most American motherfucker out of anybody here, dude. This man will do anything.
I mean, I won't do anything. Dude. I'm not Dr. Disrespect. But,
oh no. Damn.
All right. RedStrider, man, what do you got coming up, dude?
Yes, tomorrow, being on this guy's channel to prepare to be sexually assaulted by Strahd.
Dr. Disrespect? Or Chris Tyson?
Chris Tyson, actually. Chris Tyson is cast as Strahd in the remake. So, yeah, we have just been given an ultimatum to deliver somebody into the clutches of Strahd, and we're deciding whether or not we're going to do that. So, yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be scary as hell. I'm already kind of getting it was last time was already pretty creepy, so it was kind of fun. Then on Mondays I'm on with MSK show, and then I will be recording a Gooding review sometime this weekend.
Nice. I need to get to reading that myself this weekend.
It's fun.
Nate, what do you got coming up, man?
So what?
What do you got coming up, Nate?
I actually got quite a bit of stuff coming up. So I've slowly been getting back into uploading on the movie channel. So I got a Deadpool and Wolverine review that's coming. Like I said, I wanted to wait about another week until everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it by now, so I can talk about it. I got a Trap review coming out as well because I saw that today. Probably going to do a spoiler discussion with MSK on his channel about Trap as well on Sunday. And then tomorrow, of course, is the big one, Curse of Strahd episode 3. It is going to be live on the Full Metal Nate YouTube channel. I think of the two we've done so far, I think of the sessions we've done so far, Strider, this is probably the one I've put a lot more thought and effort into in terms of what I want to do. So hopefully there's a lot of twists and turns and a lot of cool shit going down tomorrow night. I'm actually bringing back a series to my movie channel that I used to do a long time ago. It's called Throwback Thursdays. I'm actually going to start going back and reviewing a lot of films from, the 2000s, the 2010s, all the way through the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s. Just whatever I feel like talking about, that particular week I'm going to do. But the first thing I'm going to do, it's funny, I brought up Fate earlier because I'm going to review Fate Zero and then Unlimited Blade Works. And then eventually I'm going to graduate and review the Heaven's Field trilogy. It's got a lot of cool stuff planned, dude. But
Nate, have you?
Nice.
I have a question for you. Have you checked out Project Mouthwash's Unlimited Blade Works Abridged?
Oh, I have. It's fucking hilarious.
I love it. All right. If you hadn't already seen it, I was gonna tell you definitely take a weekend to go check it out.
We need to leave. Why? This man is pretty much Irish Hercules. We need to get the fuck out of here now.
Nah, you can take him.
Nate, how much are in the anime are you?
I don't want to say novice because that sounds like a disservice to myself. If I think it's interesting, I'll check it out. I'm mostly big fantasy guy, so
would you be willing?
What?
I'm already laughing.
What?
So you watch what my suggestions? It'll be like a short 12-episode anime. You binge watch it. You come on my channel and discuss what I suggested for you to watch.
It depends what you shoot my way, man. I'll watch a lot of stuff, but
that's the thing. You gotta agree to it, Nate. You gotta agree to show up on the channel, and then he'll tell you what it is.
And raise all the red flags.
Basically, I'll give him anime homework, and he watches it, and then he comes on my channel, and we have a discussion about what I made him watch.
Just as long as none of this shit, shit puts me on a watch list somewhere, I think I'll be all right.
No, nothing like that. We're not on Vito's level. But I will say a lot of it will be degenerate, but not that degenerate.
Dude, I've watched High School DxD and owned the first 2 seasons on Blu-ray. So I mean, it can't be any more degenerate than that.
Plus, back of mine be like, "Oh, that's adorable. You think that's degenerate? You have not seen what I have seen."
I'm glad you walked it to the kiddie pool. Now let's take you into the deep end,
dude. Issei is the dumbest son of a bitch in anime history, man. I can't stand that motherfucker, dude. But yeah, sure, I'd be down to try something out like that. I think it'd be fun.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
we'll talk it out.
Okay.
There you go. Alrighty, guys. Well, wrap it up here.
What do you got going on, Savage Dad?
I'm going to be bringing back Dadcast for at least this weekend.
Good.
I've been busy working on a lot of things, but I hit 100 followers on Rumble, so I'm gonna throw a show up. It's hard to get these follows on Rumble, man. I've been struggling for them, so I hit 100. I'm going to throw a show up over 100 actually right now on Rumble. So I'm going to get a show up on Sunday night. I'm taking my kids to Monster Trucks on Saturday night, or I do it then. So
Claymore is amazing, dude. I love Claymore.
So Sunday night, I'm going to bring back Dadcast at least for this week. My life is in flux, so my consistency with streaming is going to be erratic, potentially for months, depending on the way things go on Tuesday. So we'll see how that all happens. But I will see you guys on Sunday. And thanks for everybody. Thanks to chat, Andy Pickle, RedStrider. We see who else showed up in the chat tonight. Drunken Emerald Arrow was hanging out with us. Devastator, Steve, Baz. Thank all of you guys for coming to hang out. Thank you to Jason Sandberg for hanging out with us. I know we ran a little over. I'll make sure that we get him back on to give us the full story of,
post the link to his Indiegogo in chat.
Yes.
For,
so we can go check out Jupiter.
Yep, just bought it. Looking forward to
it. He ships fast, man. He might be the fastest person I've actually had ship from anything from Indiegogo. Like you'll see that thing here coming pretty soon. Like
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it is finished, and I'm looking forward to the second issue. Like, I want to see what he's got going. Like, it's such a throwback, man. You get this like just.
I'm telling you, man,
old
straight
school
Jack,
kind of
straight
throwback.
Jack Kirby vibes, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me throw that up in the chat. I should have got that earlier, but we'll get in there now so everybody can see it. Please go check out Jason Sandberg's book. I'm going to give this a reshare up on my X as well.
Okay.
I'll see if I can get Iron and Selena to put it up, but please go check out Jupiter. Did it load? There we go. I was like, is it loading? There it is.
There it is.
Check that out, guys.
Yep.
And sorry for the unprofessional nature of tonight. It was kind of
John.
on the side.
Hey,
John's
hail John.
Whoa,
Long
John.
box.
Whoa.
Long box. Like just showing up here like boom. We're just as we're wrapping up, sir. John,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've probably seen Jupiter before, but if you have not, go check it out from Jason Sandberg. Another authentic person coming to bring something original to the indie comic scene. And a man who very like yourself, John, is very committed to just making good comics. So please go check it out. Thanks for showing up, John. And for everybody else who showed up tonight. The stream was a little messy, but I think we had a good time. It was a good show.
great. Yeah.
Oh, we just got finished up with clobbering time, dude. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, thanks for coming to hang out, John. We appreciate it. And so the panel, thank you guys for putting up with my just erraticness tonight. We got through it. We got through it. It was a mess.
It wasn't a
have
mess.
a plan. So.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was a good show. It's a good conversation. On that one, guys, to the audience, please have a good rest of the night. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you guys next week. Another weekly Rogues Gallery. Later.
Peace out.
I'll be back.